Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas is McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah. Welcome in, everybody. Episode 151, by the way. 151. We're getting close. When we get to 156, that'll be 3 years. You realize that? So we're like a month away from the 3-year anniversary of our live stream. Believe it or not.
I was with you for the second year.
Yeah. So anyway, we are, of course, recording this as an audio track as well. It'll be put out there all the different favorite podcasting streaming platforms. So you might be listening to the stream instead of course, with this live, or so vice versa. We're on YouTube, 7 p.m. Central on Tuesday nights, or check out the live stream, several different streaming platforms. You can find that link also on my website, FordVideoGuyMedia.com as well. We always have it there, along with fun little videos that we've done on the Bronco, which I think I need to update. I think I got a couple of videos I need to add to that. I give something for Jeff to do. Anyway, so keep him busy there.
There's only a few days where you don't have something for him to do.
No. So anyway, so that's all good stuff. So we let's see, how's everything going?
Good. Yeah.
What did you do this weekend? Brought the kids over on Sunday.
Brought the kids over. Saturday, Will got to go bowling with his cousins.
Yes, went bowling.
It was supposed to be an hour. They were gone for 3.
Yes. Well, it takes them a little while for those kids to get through a game.
Very true.
Because I showed up because your mom was like, I might need help. So I went over there from work and caught in the second game. And so didn't have all my normal. I used to bowl in a league.
Yeah.
So I got like special shoes and bowling balls and everything. All that good stuff.
I have a bowling ball that you bought for me.
Yeah. So it's weird because if you're a bowler, then you get like the lane, the oil patterns and everything and all that good stuff. And so it was like, you grab a ball from the bowling alley and it's going straight. It's not doing anything else.
I grew up going to the bowling alley with you every week on your bowling nights. Me and Jolie would go with you, and you would give us a little bit of money. We'd go to the arcade and hang out.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't remember what I think my average was like in the 190, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got close to a perfect game.
My father-in-law.
I think I had like 8 out of 8 strikes or something.
Yeah.
And I got close to a perfect game.
Anyway. You can talk bowling with Lee, my father-in-law. He
had a bowling alley.
He owned a bowling alley.
People that have done finance here are probably with him have probably heard the story of him owning the bowling alley in Oakley or Colby or Waukene. Here you go. Anyway, we laugh about it. So he always says that he knows somebody in this area. If they're from Kansas, he knows him from the bowling alley or the time he was the sold beer in the.
He was a beer transport driver.
Or the what's your grandma? What are they? Mavis.
Oh, yes, she sold Tupperware. She was actually
one of those two things.
A very high-ranking Tupperware sales representative at the time. She got to earning the car.
Yeah, so
she earned her car for several years, or selling Tupperware.
Okay. Anyway, so we won't get distracted too much, but there you go. That's what happened this weekend. I
cleaned out our playroom. We moved Theo from his room to Will's room, so now they share a room, so that Will's not lonely at night. And I cleaned out that room. It was needed. It took me 3 hours.
I get it. All right. Anyway, what else is going on? We got if you're wanting any of our merch, I actually am wearing one of the polo shirts you can get on the merch site. Plus, there's a lot of shirts and different things like that, hats, cups, mugs, all that kind of stuff. There's through the 10th. So today and tomorrow it ends 20% off everything. So there you go. And then probably won't have another deal. I've kind of gotten their pattern down. Probably won't have anything else until August. So anyway, there you go. What else? And the link to that is down in the descriptions or in the comment show notes. It's all down there if you want links to that. So let's see what else. Oh, videos last week. Maverick Monday yesterday. We did how to find your jack, how to lower the tire down, and find the mounting points for your jack. So some of the basics there. Didn't actually change a tire or anything because I wasn't going to go through that and all that. But so yeah, and my frustrations and my little rant about why they don't have a split bench seat. I get it if they want to locate the jack back there, they do it on the F-150. They do that on the Ranger. I get that if you want to do that, but I mean, and if you have 2 car seats, you're going to have to take one out. But if you make it a split bench seat and you put it behind one of them, then at least you only have to move 1 car seat if you have 2. If you have 1, you can know that I position the car seat on the other side so that I can get to the jack if I need to. But anyway, plus, why can we not just store it someplace that's easy to access? Right? Come on now. Anyway, all right. I won't rant about that, but you can watch that video if you want. And then also we had a video last week, a couple different ones from my personal channel. Went live last night from the Bronco off-road experience. Some of the fun stuff and some of the things that we joked about and laughed about and some of that kind of stuff. And then on the McArthur channel, we did basically what's experience is like and had a nice little intro talking about it and see what Broncos and Bronco Sports qualify for that and that kind of thing. And yeah, that was a little more informative. So anyway, check those out. Let's see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of videos going on this week. None of the vehicles have opened the order banks recently. It's going to get busy real soon. It's going to be to where about every day I'm going to be posting a video going through the build and price on between Maverick, Bronco Sport, and I assume Expedition, maybe F-150 even. Who knows? Coming up in August. They don't really tell us. But we're looking forward to those because those are the videos that I really enjoy doing and educating people. So we'll have those going on here real soon. But there you go. All right. And then we got, where's this, Niles in there?
Yes, Niles is here. What's in Tim's cup?
What's in Tim's cup? I got my Maverick mug today. Rambler, as Yeti calls it. So.
What's in his cup? Can anyone guess?
You can guess. I can tell you that it came from the vending machine here at the dealership. That still narrows down to about 50. Anyway,
if you've been here, you might be able to guess.
Anyway, and usually I don't drink this in the evenings. So.
That's Walt's guest 151 Bacardi. Nope, we keep it.
Oh, yeah, non-alcoholic around here. So, not that I don't drink alcohol.
Johnny's
I do that at
beer.
home. I don't do. Remember, from here, I'm at the dealership. So for 1, I'm at the dealership. But for 2, I got to drive home. So,
Johnny says beer vending machine.
No. Yeah, something we can get the vending machine. We don't have alcohol in there. That's in our private stash. No, I don't. No, I have to drive home.
Since his name isn't Dave from All Terrain Nation, it's not from a bottle.
Yeah, if I was recording this at home, it might be different, but no. All right. To be honest, I don't drink a lot of alcohol even when I'm at home.
Purple syrup.
Sometimes no. Sometimes I'll grab a beer or something. What is in my cooler right now for alcohol? Your mom likes wine because my wife can't have beer because she has a gluten allergy, so she can't have anything with wheat, so she can't have beer. So usually, she can have wine, so she'll drink wine. I can drink some beer, and then some of your whiskeys, like if it's bourbon, she can drink it because it has less wheat content in it. So anyway, brandy she can drink, but all right. Anyway. What else we got?
A good glass of wine.
Yeah. So what's in Tim's cup? Got that covered. And then, of course, should we talk about while they're guessing that? Let's talk about membership. And then that way, if any of them comment, then you can put that up there when we're talking about that. So, how can they become a member?
If you'd like to become a member, it is right there beside the subscribe button. When you click on it, it will show you all the perks you get. And then if you're an iPhone user, you may have to do things differently. Go to your web browser, go up to the little A and big A, and request desktop browser. At that point, you should be able to see it.
And then you'll be able to find all of our content under membership area and community. We'll post things in community as well. Right now, the link to that event that's going on, I think they're calling it actually the Ford Video Guy Meet and Greet event is what she's calling it. We're going to get some flyers up and be sending some emails out to people that have purchased a vehicle from us, as well as to our members. So our members, we're going to have special events during that time, August 2nd and 3rd. Right? Am I right on the days? Okay.
Yeah.
August 2nd and 3rd. So we're going to do it in conjunction with Cars and Coffee. So Friday will be a total day with us, with Sarah and I. 9 a.m. Come on over to the dealership and we'll chat. Get on the road. We'll go for a drive. Some of you want to join us in our vehicle, we'll do that if you want. If you don't, if you're maybe come with somebody, you're like, you know what, I'm going to go for a ride with Sarah or go for a ride with Tim. Then we're going to have I'll have the mach-e, we'll have the Bronco. Barb's going to drive the Bronco. And then Sarah too. And we'll have, I don't know, you're going to bring the Lightning for that one?
I might be
or just Saturday?
Just Saturday. I can't do a drive in it because it needs an alignment. Yeah. I can't get up to faster than 40 right now, or else it starts wobbling.
But anyway, we're gonna have a nice little drive. We're gonna go out and see some Kansas monuments and such, and check out a couple different things, and then the historic town of Lindsborg as well. Little Sweden is what we call it, yeah. And that's fun. Actually, this weekend, last night, actually, before All Train Nations video, we were watching some that popped up as a recommended video for me, probably because of camping, but they camp out of their van. So it's van life, and they were traveling from through Kansas. And so they checked out all the different places, a couple days in Kansas, and checked out different sites, and they went to Lindsborg. So it was pretty cool to watch their take on everything. They went to the Hutch, to the salt mine. You can tour that. Your mom's like, there ain't no way I'm going 650 feet down underground.
I've always wanted to go in the salt mine.
That's did you know it's the only salt mine in the United States that allows you to go to tour it?
Yes. It's also not connected to the active salt mine that is actively being worked on in Canopolis. Yeah. I know that because my brother-in-law works in the active salt mine.
Yep. Well, and Caleb did too.
Yes.
Work here, or that works here. That used to be a photographer. But yeah. So anyway, so we'll have some fun that day, and then dinner that evening for members as well. So it's, of course, it's the Friday event. Us doing the drive and everything, that is for everybody. You don't have to be a member or anything like that. We're gonna the dinner, or we have to change we were gonna do Prickly Pears, but they're closing it down. And it will be closed down actually here in just about a week. And then Saturday, Cars and Coffee. We'll have a Maverick tent set up and a Maverick section. And we'll try to get all the local Mavericks here too. And we'll have fun at Cars and Coffee and maybe take some drives. Anybody wants to go for a little ride in the mach-e, make sure you haven't had a meal very recent from it'll be like a roller coaster ride for you. Anyway, yeah, we'll do that. So man, a lot of fun. So we'll open it up. Any vehicle, doesn't have to be a Maverick. So bring your Broncos, bring whatever you have, Mustangs, whatever.
I'll have an F-150 Lightning.
We'll have fun. I'll have
an 01.
I'll have the mach-e. I'll have the Bronco here at the event. So yeah, we'll have some fun with that. And yeah.
Niles.
So there you go.
Imagine buying a cup from the merch site, putting whatever you want in the cup, then saying you know it's in Tim's cup.
This is a serious workaround. Yeah. That's funny. But it doesn't say Tim on it. It says Ford Video Guy. So you can't say what's in Tim's cup.
But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see what else. All right. So membership. So members, they will get access to certain things. We do have a Discord as well for people to hang out and comment and interact with each other, as well as a member live. We do a lot walk on Saturdays. I think we do a lot for our members for just $5. Not to sell it or anything, because I don't want people to sign up unless you really want to be part of the community. But also we get shout outs on the Tuesday night live stream. Ready to do that?
Mm-hmm. I'm working through them.
All right. I saw that you had one popped up on the screen. I don't think you realized it.
Oh no, I knew it because they said they were guessing do.
Okay.
Whoa.
So we do have our moderator in here. Is he here? Are they back? Because I was over at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews.
Yes.
And I know that when I left there about 10 minutes before this, they were still going over there. So
Johnny says his dealer gives 2 tall dealer logo beers to each buyer. He has the code, but would never dive into the collection. We do wine for our luxury people.
They get that after they've been home and purchased the vehicle.
Yeah. Well, the wine goes in the basket and it goes into the trunk of the vehicle.
Yes. After you've signed paperwork.
Yes. But we did that with Lincolns and we moved over to our luxury.
Yes. All right.
But if you buy Ford, you get cookies.
Yes, cookies. Which Mom's like, I'd rather have the wine because I'm gluten-free. So,
yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Kevin Ryan is here. Oh, yeah. I'm in the land of bourbon here in Kentucky. Woodford Reserve is my everyday good stuff.
There you go. I don't drink it straight. I do like it with a liquid.
We found we like Jameson and cranberry juice.
Yeah. No tickets needed. This is a free event, completely free. So we're not. Yeah, this is free. Members, the dinner's on us for members. The drive and everything is completely free. In fact, we're including lunches for those that are going on the drive as well. We're paying for that. So this is this is completely, if you want to donate, that's fine to help cover some of the costs. That's fine. But it is free.
Yeah.
One of the few times you can go to, an event, but you're just coming to see us. So it's not like a bunch of Broncos, but hopefully a bunch of Mavericks in the future, but we'll see.
So we have Bucko, and he says the salt mine tour in Hutch is well worth your time. We also have Aurora. She's joking with Ridgeview that he's taking the first shift of driving. If I remember, don't they do that in one go? So wouldn't there just be one shift?
They stop though and get gas every 500 miles, right? Mavericks get about 500 miles on the tank. You get the first 500 miles.
All right. Does Niles like Moxie? Yes, he does. Niles sure does.
I'm out of Moxie.
So am I. We have Terry McGee. Good evening, sir. We have, Craig Mock. They are good cookies.
Yes.
The McArthur cookies that are sent out are good. Let's see. Okay. On to our starred comments. We have Anthony Sparaccio, member for 15 months. Hello, everyone.
Wow. And you also get where you can put your milestones in there too.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
You get custom emojis.
Custom emojis.
We have Niles Gridley. He is one of our moderators. He is also our aftermarket specialist. So if you have any aftermarket questions, you can tag him at Niles Gridley and he can help you out. Let's see. We have Craig Mock. Hey, everyone. We have Vols44, and he says, always good to see you patrolling the chat and keeping us in line to Ridgeview. Ridgeview is also one of our moderators. He's also a moderator for Johnny's Car Care and Review. And he helps us out quite a bit with keeping everyone in line and keeping our chat clean. We have Alan. Howdy, y'all. What a nice hot day here in Portland, Oregon. 104.
104. Wow.
We have Elizabeth. And she says that the week that we do the Maverick meetup, she always has a Girl Scout camp that week, so she can't make it.
Is that the same one that Brandon's going to? And
I don't think so. He's going to Wyoming. And I think Elizabeth is.
I'm really would like to move that up next year because there's other events, Bronco events that are the same weekend. Bronco takeover and
I do like the first
things,
weekend, so we can include cars and coffee. I do like that.
So we'll see. We might move it to like the beginning of July or beginning of June. One of those times. We'll see. I have to do that.
Yeah. All right. We have Ridgeview. He drinks his own version of Arnold Palmer with cold brew tea and lemonade. We have Donald Rash. Hello, Tim and Sarah. Sarah, awesome job on the off-road trails.
That little intro, the pre-stream, I got to call it the pre-stream footage. Sarah drove most of that. Most of the stuff, the fun stuff, because I got out doing all the videos, even in the rain.
Yes, he did. And the one time I got out to take a video, I accidentally took a picture instead.
Yeah.
We have Mike M. Hello from Orlando.
Wow. Go down there, huh?
He's on vacation, I believe.
Remember
he was on vacation on Friday?
That's right.
We have Mike M. Just chilling in Florida.
There we go.
Mike Lyons. Greetings, everyone. Love the new intro.
Cool.
Douglas Blair. Back from Johnny's. And then Johnny ended his stream and came and joined us. Don't forget to hit that like button. Looks like you got a lot of stickers this week from
Patches
44.
Patches. We'll get to that in a second.
We have Brian Foster. Wow, a very chatty bunch tonight. Hello from Southern California. Sitting at home with bronchitis today. No coaching my girls' soccer team. We have, I think I already did his. Mid-Coast, Maine. Greetings to all from Maine Coast.
There you go.
Douglas Blair. Top quality merch from the Ford Video Guy. Aurora. And she is a member. We keep forgetting to switch you over to your other account. Niles Gridley, thanks for looking into my emailed questions on Monday. And we have Steve Young. That Heineken 0.0 is pretty good. Non-alcoholic Heineken. And Alan's been a member for 31 months.
Wow.
We also have Ronald Smith. Good evening, everyone. And I think he's planning to attend.
Oh, that's good.
We have Gerwalt, 100 degrees in Missoula. Gerwalt, are you able to make it this year? Or I think you said that you had family.
Yeah.
Alan's going to join us. Get to cross most states without fueling up. Which is crazy. I don't think you could do that in Kansas.
Well, and that's the thing is once you get past like into, about Kansas and Missouri, the states get much bigger. So it is more challenging.
Mm-hmm. All right.
He's going to be coming from
we have
Oregon,
Lloyd
right, Washington.
in the flow, one of our newer members. Greetings from North Carolina. I've heard rumblings or fake news about a new Ford Ranchero. Truth or fiction? Fiction. You
got to check out Johnny's live stream from earlier tonight. Go check that out. Links to his channel is down in the description or show notes if you're listening to it. But check it out because he actually did talk about that, about those videos. There's a video where they talk about the Ranchero and they talk about the Ford Pinto and some of these. It's all fake. It's all AI generated. And I mean, he had it. I'm not going to talk a little about it because I'll end up ranting about it, but there's a lot of channels out there and videos that get a lot of exposure and they get a lot of views. And it's not even accurate. It's fake. It's all clickbait and all just banking on people wanting to get excited about something, and it's inaccurate information. And it's crazy. Like he said, he did a great, video and everything. And he, got this warning from YouTube and everything, but yet there's channels like this that's putting out all this fake news and everything. So,
yep.
Crazy.
Now, Bill Graves is not a member, but he says, greetings from Hutchinson, Kansas.
Oh, there we go. Got a local there.
And he says he bought his Atlas Blue 24 XLT all-wheel drive 4K tow, just 7,000 miles.
Wow, cool.
Nice.
There you go.
Come join us for a Maverick meetup in August. Yeah. Go to the little McArthur webpage for more information.
Yeah.
All right. And Deke Marshall coming in our last greeting here. Thanks for sharing your opportunity to change a tire on a Maverick.
Yeah, I'm glad I did not record it actually changing the tire because I didn't know. I mean, I knew what the jack was.
I actually
but,
thought about saying, "Hey, do you want me to record you doing this?" And then I was like, "Oh, but I need to get my hair done. Like, we have to get this done, or I'm not. I'm going to be here till like 11 o'clock. It's going to be bad." So we did it.
I wasn't real happy. So, but I did have to look up some of the instructions just to make sure I had it all right and everything. But yeah, I was kind of hoping that some of the tools that I had. So the goal was not to have to get the jack out, but to just be able to get what I needed to lower the tire down. And thought maybe I had something that would work in my tools. And anyway, so it was like I was a little frustrated. But yeah. Anyway, and then of course had to unbuckle both of the two car seats to get them forward. I have pictures, but I didn't. Yeah. I actually posted, I actually had a little rant short. It's like 60 seconds, but I kept saying spare instead of jack when I was talking about the jack. So I'm like, well, that's, I messed up on that twice, but anyway. But
Bill was here last year for the Maverick meetup, but he didn't have a Maverick. So go sign up your Maverick and
come on, come join us.
We are requesting that people sign up this year, so that way we have an accurate estimate of numbers.
Yeah, especially if you're going to take the drive, we kind of want to know like who else coming, so we can make sure there's
enough food for everyone,
food and everything. And yeah, so we definitely want to do that. So anyway, all right, yes,
all right.
So we're gonna have a good. Let's go through these. So these are so basically, I got my patches in.
Patches.
I had gotten these patches in, so there were a bunch of people that had sent me patches along with stickers, and so I'm like, I wanted to make sure I got them all sent out, and everything. And but then in the process of doing that, people posted those, and so then I had other people that we had just exchanged stickers, but not patches yet. So that's what these are. These are people that have already sent me stickers that are now sending me the patches, as well as more stickers on some of them. So this first one is Jarvie from Utah. Looks like UT, right? So that's his patch. So we got a sticker already, and he actually sent another sticker too. So need one, and then
that's cute.
I love that.
Groot.
That looks really cool. So anyway, so
there's actually a couple of baby Groots on there.
Yeah,
or my wall at least.
And then this other one is from Morgan in South Carolina. All these people are on Instagram. So, and I'll post, if you follow me on Instagram, Ford Video Guy, I'll put the photos of all these on. I like to take pictures and then send and put up and post them, and I'll tag the user. So if you need it, hey, I want to check those people out, then you can tag them and say, hey, can you trade with me like you did Ford Video Guy, right? So this one says, thank you for the swap. You have such an amazing creative design. Keep on being bucking cool. but make sure I get that B in there. Yeti sticker. I'm like, oh, that's what you do with the Yeti stickers that I don't usually put on anything. But
randomly put them into packs.
So I really do like, because if you see, people have been doing their state, and ours, that is the cutout of Kansas. It's not rectangle, it's that. And you notice too,
we got a bite taken out of the corner.
You got to see too. Well, that's the river. That's the Missouri River, right?
Yes.
That divides that. But you'll notice too the weed in there, and you'll notice the wind turbines over there, right? So it's kind of Kansas.
That looks okay. So that looks exactly like you're driving through Western Kansas when the wheat's ripe.
Yeah. But now other people are also doing it. And I got the idea from other people anyway, from Supercell, and they're doing it. So that's the South Carolina one. So I'm trying to collect all the different states. I actually had somebody from here in Kansas says, hey, I'm trying to collect the Kansas one. I'm like, yeah, there you go. So
I love that.
Anyway, but I would say there's not a lot of people in Kansas that are actually probably participating in doing these things. So keep these together so that I can, because I haven't posted any photos yet. This other one is someone that actually we reached out recently that hadn't sent me stickers because they had the Texas one. This is pretty cool.
Let me see that. Oh, that's cool.
So that's OBuck, OHH_Buck. But again, yeah, I'll tag these people later tonight, tomorrow, sometime. We'll see. All right. And then this in here is Karen and Louie So this one is actually they're from Minnesota. We'd actually connected and said we waited for my patches to come in before we sent anything out. So I do like theirs. They got all kinds of cool stickers from Minnesota. Pretty cool stickers. I like that. That's pretty cool as the tag, Minnesota tag. So that's Bronco Louie. So again, I love my Bronco. I love all the extra stickers people send. We are sending one from the saying that we use here on the live stream and actually all the videos, but his looks a little like Jack's. Kind of cool.
You know what? Oh, is it from Minnesota? But he did just a regular.
Let's say Minnesota. They got a lot of trees up there, right? So, Land of Thousand Lakes. They also send a chip. And I joke because my son-in-law is from Minnesota, and I joke with them. It's all in fun, people. But I say Land of a Thousand Lakes, and I said, well, I've seen some of your what I think you consider lakes. We call those ponds in Kansas. Just a joke. If you're in Minnesota. Just a joke. I have some good friends in Minnesota. So, all right. And this one here is from Don Allen. We've actually switched stickers, and he gave me the whole thing. That was a big one.
Oh, wow.
So that's the 4x4 wide one. You see it? There we go. So there's a lot of other stickers in here too. So anyway, so there you go. So fun. It's kind of fun. It's like collecting baseball cards, trading cards and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Kind of fun.
Delta the airline that has the trading cards?
Yes,
it is. On the Delta flight.
Yes, we're going on a trip, going to Detroit. Can't tell you why. Yeah, Delta. If you didn't fly Delta, no, they do trading cards. Just ask the pilots or the stewardess or the flight attendants, I should say. Ask them, and especially if you get a pilot there and go, "Hey, you got a trading card?" Because they are so excited because not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah,
and they get really excited.
Making it more and more popular.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's little known. It's a friend of mine from actually upstate New York. But their company's in Minnesota, and they're the ones he's the one who told me about that. But there you go. So
I saw it on TikTok.
Yep. All right, we need to get on with things, but that's all fun. So we'll do that. Keep doing those as long as we get them. Let's see here. You got a good dealer moment?
I gotta pull it up. My brain's not in Kansas today. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right. Well, this goes with somewhere we've been recently. We have Hillsborough Ford in Hillsborough, New Hampshire. Mark McComish was the salesman. Small, locally owned, honest about allocations, sold at MSRP, no forced dealer add-ons, no high-pressure sales. Mark was in sales, Christian is sales manager, and Becky in finance. We're all great to work with. Great communication throughout the process. Becky found a better interest rate than I had been able to find locally. Decent trade-in value. After all the horror stories I had heard on Maverick Truck Club, I kept waiting for something to happen. It didn't. Skip the big dealerships here in New England, who are still marking up, and go to Hillsborough Ford.
Cool. There you go.
So, Hillsborough Ford in New Hampshire. You
know, that's the thing. Some of those smaller dealers are usually the best ones in a way of treating their customers right and doing the right thing and sticking to MSRP and that kind of stuff. That's why we try to, we've gotten kind of big in a way of being one of the top dealers in the KC region, but we still want to keep that small town feel, right? So we're a town of less than 50,000. I think we looked it up. It was like 45,000.
45.
So we like to say that, we have some bigger industries like, Tony's and that kind of stuff in town, but kind of more of a farming community and everything. And that's why we sell a lot of trucks, but we like to keep that. Hopefully you get that small town Kansas feel with us and transparency, that kind of stuff.
Bigger small towns around here are the college towns, and that's usually what brings in the kids or brings in the people into the area.
Yeah.
But ours is manufacturing. We have 3 big manufacturing plants here in the in our town, not including the other ones outside of the towns and the smaller towns that are, they live in Kansas, drive 20 minutes to their job site or whatever. So a lot of manufacturing, a lot of farming, a lot of trucks.
Yep. Okay. We're going to go through scheduling. There are some notes on scheduling. There's a few models that are going to be scheduling. So we'll go through this here real quick. Let me add this camera on there. All right. And then we'll get started. Ooh. There we go. Okay. We'll get into this. Oh, what's in the cup real quick before we get into scheduling. So it is No one guessed it. Nope. It is the Monster coffee drink. Because I had a lot of pop earlier today, several meetings. So I had a lot of pop earlier. I'm like, I'm kind of like Mountain Dew out for just a little bit. And so I decided to get something chocolatey flavor. So that's what I have. There we go.
Quick question, dock fees. That's a standard at dealerships.
There are some states that do not let you do a dealer fee.
Okay.
So there are some dealerships that don't do a dealer fee, but most dealers, I'd say 80-90% of them will do a dock fee or a dealer fee. And that fee usually, pays for a lot of your documentation, the cost of the papers and printing, having to submit those to the states and that kind of stuff, and to Ford and that kind of stuff. Now that a lot of things are done electronically, you have less cost of that, but I'll be very transparent. Some of that does go to year-end bonuses for our sales guys. So there's like $1. There's like so much as like $2 or $3 of each car deal goes to manager bonuses at the end of the year. I get paid on a bonus at the end of the year, performance bonus, and it's based on, I get like $1 on every car deal at the end of the year. And that's so some of that dock fee goes to some of that too. So, but even as employees, because I think on D plan and A plan, it's $95. So Ford says dealer fee of $95, a set fee. All dealers have to do $95 on any of those. Right. And so they're not allowed to go any higher than that. And so, in fact, I think all dealers have to keep a $95. So even if you don't do one, I think you have to do the $95.
Because it's a Ford requirement and not a dealer.
Yeah. So it's kind of allows for dealers to be on the same, because basically what they say is if you want to do a D plan, A plan, something like that, it's a set price, it's a set dock fee, no matter what dealership you're at. So that's why they want to try to keep you local to your close dealer or whatever, instead of going, why would you go someplace out of state or whatever instead? That's why you can't add anything. Like, we can't do free shipping with A plan, D plan, because it's a set price and we can't include anything for free. We can't, do that. So we can add on accessories and that kind of stuff. We put that in the add-on section, but we can't do anything if it's, we just can't do anything for free.
And if that's a deal breaker, then find a state that doesn't allow dealer fees and purchase a vehicle from one of those dealers.
Yeah. So, but what we're doing is we're kind of doing like we are in our online pricing, where if you finance with this, the price, basically the online price, we will always, like on Mavericks, we'll do MSRP, and then you'll see the price on our website is $1,000 below MSRP, because if you finance with this, you save $1,000. And so we're doing that on Mavericks. So we're actually, if you finance with us, we're $1,000 below MSRP. So when you look at that, even when you add the dock fee in there, if you finance with us, you're still $500 better than most dealers, maybe even $1,000, right? So anyway, and then or you can do the free shipping, one or the other. You can either save $1,000, you just want to come and get it and just pay for it that way, or you want the free shipping. I think it's one or the other. So because the YouTube special I have is the free shipping deal.
Yes.
But here at the dealership, they do the fine. Yeah. So anyway, so, all right. And on the Maverick, it's not really, we asked for the full amount because it's such a cheap vehicle that we don't get much on the reserve from the financing.
You have to finance a certain amount to be able to get that for our finance team to get that $1,000 back from the bank. And so if that certain amount isn't met, or like it has to hit a certain price, and so if it's not a certain amount, it doesn't work out, and then we're lost on $1,000. So we basically pay for that $1,000 of the shipping out of the finance reserve that we make. So when you finance a vehicle,
the lender gives the lender's making money, so that they do basically, the dealer gets a percentage of that lending amount, and so the more they finance, the more you make, right, as a percentage. And so on the Maverick, since it's a low cost vehicle, we don't really, if you don't finance the whole amount, then we can't cover that $1,000. That's how little it is between the markup, which is less than about $500, and the reserve. Which we barely cut even.
With that financing, you can pay it off. We just request 6 months.
Yeah, like so many payments, because otherwise Ford Credit or whoever will charge us back that fee. So, the gross.
So there's a lot that goes into
but again, very transparent. That's what we're talking about later. What's on my mind? That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about being transparent and what are these things that dealers are adding. And we are very transparent about what we're adding, what we're putting on our vehicles and the documents and everything else. And we're going to talk about that, but it's mainly about talking about price protection. It's kind of like one of the things we're going to talk about later in the video. So hopefully it's pretty cool. All right, so let's get into the scheduling information real quick. So there you go, and go from there. If I can find the slide, where is it? Right here. All right, so we're gonna get into the scheduling for this week. There are a few models that are scheduling, and we just to remind everybody, this week's scheduling is still based off of June's allocations that the dealer has earned. So most of those allocations for most models have already been given out. That's why you're going to see a lot of these that aren't going to be scheduling, but there are a couple models that need to finish fulfilling some of the allocations because they didn't schedule like last week or the week before. So they're going to finish up. Next week is going to be the start of the July's allocations. Dealers have until Friday to submit their request of how many allocations they want to take on what's been offered or request more allocations. And so, in fact, a lot of cases, we actually took less allocations than what we were actually given. So we, instead of 115 on the Maverick, we're actually taking 100. So those 15 will go to another dealer in our region because the turn and earn is very important. And for every time, now that they're in July, anything comes in after July, we're get charged a different fee. And so we don't have like 3 months to sell a vehicle. We have to sell it right away. And because of that, if we have too many here, we're afraid we're going to have them. And then it'll cost us a lot in interest, more than what we would make from selling the vehicle. So anyway, there's a lot that goes into that. But because of that, you want to turn those quickly. And so dealers have until the Friday to get their submissions in for how many allocations they've been given and how many extras they want, or whatever their number is that they want. And so because of that, this week is going to be June's allocations and what's left over for dealers. So that's why some models will schedule and some will not. So let's go through those. But in each of these models, we'll also be able to talk about how many unscheduled retail orders there are for each of the models. I have that information from this week, as well as, now that we know the numbers have closed, how much the plants produced last month, as well as year to date. We're going to talk about that too when we talk about each of the models. But before we get into that, I don't want to forget, almost forgot. Let's go into our terms. All right, so here we go. What we're talking about this is scheduling for orders. So that means if you've submitted that order, it's submitted in the order bank. That is where dealers place all stock and retail orders. A retail order is a customer placed order. So Ford deems that a retail because they think, since it was ordered for a particular person, that when it comes in and when it gets shipped, it's going to be sold right away. So they will prioritize those orders. Stock orders are orders placed by a dealer for stock or lot inventory. So if they don't have retail orders, but they have allocations, they're going to need to have some stock orders in there. And if the dealer doesn't place those stock orders in there, then Ford will for you. So they will make sure that. So if you have 10 allocations and you have no orders in there, they will submit their own orders for the dealers. And it may not be what you're hoping that you can sell. Priority code, that's a priority given to orders by the dealer. 0 to 3, or I'm sorry, 3 to 19 are retail order numbers, and 20 to 80 are stock. So the lower the better. That's why a retail order will always be looked at first because of those priority numbers there. Scheduling, that is when Ford schedules an order for production dates in the future months. And then production date, that is when Ford plans to build your vehicle. Those dates can move around. At one point when they schedule it, they'll schedule it to the week. But then sometimes things change when they don't get the parts that they thought, or the supplier drops the ball on something. And sometimes those orders and production dates get moved back. So they can move around on you if you see that happen. And that's pretty typical. Allocations. Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. A dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. Whether it be a retail order, it doesn't matter. The dealer has to have an allocation to get it scheduled. And a dealer earns those allocations based on their sales of each model within their region. So the more they sell, the more allocations they'll get. The more stock they have in inventory, the less allocations they get because they are oversupplied. And so they will get less, they will lose some allocations if they have a lot of stock in there, or a lot of stock inventory. Constraints, that is options that may be in short supply or take longer to build. Capacity, that's the planned production rate for given motor, trim, and option. For example, Maverick, their plan is to produce about 20% XL, 50% XLT, and about 30% Lariats this month. So that's their planned capacity. And so that's what they're looking for orders. If they don't have them, that's when they try to push different configurations on dealers for stock. Job 1 and 2, that's production, will be run into the model year. So they'll split into two different jobs. That way, if they need to introduce a new trim option, something like that, or make some change because of constraint issues, they'll make that change halfway through the year and call that job 2. Balance out, that is the end of production, or balance out of a particular option, model, maybe a color. In this case, like one of them is the Edge. Edge is balanced out and is done. And Escape, you'll see we're going to talk about Escape balancing out for 24 model year this week as well. There you go. Okay, so let's get into this. First off, the Mustang, 24 model year Mustang. Order banks are open up for the Mustang with the exception of the Dark Horse. You cannot order a Dark Horse right now. If a dealer gets an allocation for a Dark Horse, which are done separate from the other Mustangs, then they need to put that order in as a stock order. So that is open for stock ordering. There's currently 1,005 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Mustang. And last month, the plant at Flat Rock, they produced 3,031 Mustangs, which is actually low. Normally it's about 5,000. Year to date, they've produced 32,931, which is about an average of about 5.5 thousand. 5.5 thousand Mustangs. Next is the 24 model. Oh, and they are not scheduling this week for the Mustang. 24 model year Escape. The order bank is closed for 24 model year. 25 model year order banks are open up though. So if you want to place an order for an Escape, you'll only need to place a 25 model year order. There's currently 87 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the 24 model year Escape. And that plant they built last month 16,571 Escapes. That's quite a few, I think. Year to date, they built 101,706, which is an average of 17,000 Escapes a month. So pretty typical of what they did this last month. They are scheduled this week for balance out. So again, we talked about earlier, balance out is they are finishing out 24 model year. Any dealers that have any allocations, they want to fulfill those and start fresh for 25 model year next month. So they're going to be scheduling for balance out. So they're going to schedule for build dates up through September, the week of September 9th. That'll be the last week of production of the 24 model year. All right. Next up is the 24 model year Bronco Sport. Currently 122 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up right now, so you can order about any configuration, even the Badlands, freewheeling, any of those. Last month, the plant built 16,523 Bronco Sports. Year to date, they're at 89,343, which is an average of about 14.9 thousand Bronco Sports. They are not scheduling this week, though, so no scheduling for the Bronco Sports. Next up is the 24 model year Bronco. Currently 1,095 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. So only 1,000. That's crazy. Order banks are open up for almost all trim levels. So here's some of the trim levels that are not open. The Heritage Limited order banks are not open up. So if a dealer gets an allocation, that has to be put in as a stock, and it's only going to be Heritage Limited 2-doors. The Heritage Edition 4-door order banks are closed, but the 2-door order banks for the Heritage Edition are opened up. Now, that's the regular Heritage. That's not the one that's limited. So you can put in a 2-door Heritage order. Also, the Everglades are done. So they are not scheduling at all for the Heritage Edition. Or I'm sorry, for the Everglades. Everglades is done. Not sure what I just said. Everglades, you cannot, the order banks are closed for stock in retail. And I believe August is the last they're going to build an Everglades. So they're almost done with production on that. So they pretty much have already scheduled all those. I think they're done scheduling Everglades. All the other ones are open. Raptor, of course, if you do order a Raptor, make sure the dealer has a Raptor allocation, because it won't, even if you order one, it's not going to get there. Again, you need an allocation to schedule even a Raptor. Last month, the Michigan Assembly Plant built 11,518 Broncos. Year to date, they're at 69,365, which is an average of 11.5 thousand a month. They are not scheduling this week. And it does say here, dealers with open allocation for Heritage Limited, please submit the 2-door Heritage Limited orders as a stock before July 17th. So you have till then. So it looks like they're about ready to shut off Heritage Limited completely. There you go. So they're probably not going to schedule it. Probably after this month, we're not going to see Heritage Limited allocations anymore. That's pretty good information there. It does say in here, balance out for 24 model year for the Heritage Limited. 4-door is happening. And Everglades balance out as well. So they're both balanced out. So, all right. Next up is the 24 model year Mach-e. Mustang Mach-e. There's currently 65 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all trim levels, including the GT with that GT Performance package. That's only $1,000 if you want that. Last month, the plant made 5,347 Mach-es. Year to date, 23,022. That's an average of 3.8 thousand a month. So last month was a big step up from most months. They are not scheduling this week for Mustang Mach-e orders. Next up is a 25 model year Explorer. Currently 436 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year for all trim levels. Last month, the plant there in Chicago built 12,790 Explorers. Year to date, it's 112,338. So that's an average of 18.7 thousand Explorers. And that would also probably include your police editions and such, and your specialty Explorers built at their extra plant there. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 8/5 through 8/26 or 8/28. I need my glasses for that. Cleanup scheduling. So they want to fulfill those last allocations for dealers. So we do have, I think, 5 allocations that do need to be fulfilled on Explorer. So here are some of the things if you're a dealer and needing to fulfill those last allocations to finish out production for August. You do have the limited availability on the Ultimate package, which is option 68U. They're calling it Ultimate package. We do have exhausted availability on the ST version. Also on the and also limited exhaustive availability on 3.0, which kind of goes with the ST. Although that is available on the limited or on the Platinum edition too. So, which is why that's limited availability as well. And then also the 21-inch dark alloy polished wheel. So pretty much you want to be looking at ST line. Will be a good viable one. Active as well. Those can be ordered. A Platinum in the 2.3 liter would probably be another one you can look at if you're needing to fulfill those allocations as dealers. So next up is a 24 model year Expedition. Currently 381 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are still open up. Actually surprised. I'm really looking forward. I think pretty soon we're going to see it switch over to 25 model year pretty soon. I don't have any information on it, but I'm just speculating because they did start up about this time last year. And then currently at their plant last month, they built 6,876 Expeditions. Year to date, 53,220, which is an average of 8.8 thousand Expeditions. They are not scheduling this week. There you go. Next up, 24 model year Maverick. there currently is 6,603 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, which is pretty fabulous. Order banks are still open up, even for the XL hybrid, which I think they should close that one because they've told us they're backlogged on that and may take them up till the end of production, but they're open up. You can try to put one in there. I say at this point, if you haven't ordered your XL hybrid yet, I don't think you should try because I don't think it's going to get scheduled. But you can always try. Worst case scenario, you just order a 25 as well. There will be no private offers. If you don't get scheduled for 24 model year, you won't get a private offer. So some people are going to maybe try that and go, I'm going to go ahead and put that in because then they'll give me a private offer and that way I'll get a 25 even cheaper instead of waiting at 25. It's not going to happen. They're not going to give any private offers. That's what they've been telling us. The plant there, they built 16,509 Mavericks at the plant last month. Year to date, 95,387. That's an average of 15.8 thousand Mavericks. That's fabulous. So they are not scheduling this week at Hermosillo. All right. Next up is a 24 model year Ranger. Currently 950 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the Rangers, including the Ranger Raptor. Although, again, just like with the Bronco, you need a Raptor allocation to get it scheduled. So just having a Raptor, an order in there doesn't mean you're going to get yours scheduled. Last month, that plant built 6,697 Rangers at the Michigan Assembly Plant. Year to date, 33,535, which is an average of 5.5 thousand. They are not scheduling this week, so they've scheduled most of their August production dates already. Next up is a 24 model year Super Duty. They are currently 13,476 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up for the Super Duty. I think if you're looking at an F450, it's going to be kind of too late at this point. Just we'll wait. I don't know when 25 model year is going to open up, but there's so many already. 60% of those 13,000 are F450s. So they cannot build those fast enough. Production number is like less than 5%, I think. So the plant did build last month 31,231 Super Duties last month. Year to date, 205,798 Super Duties have been built at that plant. 34 between Ohio. That's between Ohio and Kentucky. That's an average of 34.3 thousand Super Duties that are being built. So that's quite a bit. They are scheduled this week to fulfill those allocations that dealers have. Kentucky is scheduling for build dates August or 8/5 through 8/26, and Ohio for the week of 8/26. It does say that they're needing dealers to put in orders for the 6.8 liter engine for the 250s and 350s. They're needing some XLs with a 6.8 without the heavy duty standard alternator. So there you go. And then also they're needing some orders for the F250, 350 XLTs and Lariats with a 7.3 liter engines. That's probably why you're seeing a bunch on our lot, Lariats, 7.3. It's because I required them, so we got those in. Yeah, they also need those without the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package on those orders. Let's see what else. Let's say we encourage people to add the top bed spray and liner. I don't know if that's necessary. Limit availability for these options on the Super Duty Platinum version, the F600 series, the pickup box delete with the 6.8 liter gas engine, the lug nut cap that's included on the 17-inch and 18-inch Argent painted steel with the painted hub covers. So that's a supply issue. We do have the wheel ornament that's available on the two-wheel drive, two-wheel rear drive, it says, single rear wheel with the 10.5 axle size. And then also the heavy-duty vinyl 40-20-40 bench seat, which, by the way, that's available in the XL, but you want us to order XLs. Anyway, the XL pickup or the chassis cabs with the medium dark slate. So if you do need to order those, because Ford says you need to, I guess choose a different color. The headlamps that are available on the limited and the platinum version are limited availability. The power sliding rear window that's available on the crew cab and super cab, as well as the flow-through console that's standard on the King Ranch Platinum Limited and optional on the XLT, and is on 97% of the Lariats. So that is an issue there. So XLT it is. All right, that's all I have for Super Duty. Moving on, 24 model year F-150 is currently 9,493 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. That number actually went up. Had been floating around that 6,000 range. It went up because they didn't schedule last week. So I've had some people say we see every single week where it's 6,000, but yet they're building 50,000 vehicles. How is that possible? That's because that's how many people are putting in orders. And now you're seeing with this, since they didn't schedule last week, they gained 3,000 more orders. So that's kind of how that works. The order banks are open up for the 24 model year F-150. Last month, between the two plants, they built 51,203 F-150s. That includes Lightning, I believe. And then year to date, 289,317, 48.2 thousand average for the year per month. So there you go. All right. They are scheduling this week for the week of 8/1. And then again, same note that they've had about the bed utility package cleats that are on the attachments, tie down plates or whatever, that they've been changed and they're in production with those changes now. Also, limited availability for the all-season tire that's standard on the two-wheel drive XL. And then also don't forget, if you're adding the tow haul package, make sure you have the tow haul axle, the max tow axle, XL5 or XL7, depends on if you have the 2.3 or 3.5 or the 5.0. All right, that's it on the F-150. 24 model year Transit. There's currently 5,234 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Transit. They are still taking orders. Order banks are open up for the 24 model year. Last month, Kansas City made 15,816 Transits. Year to date, that's 95,899, which is an average of 15.9 thousand Transits. They are scheduled this week for the week of 8/26. It says transit orders with the trail package will not be selected for scheduling this week, and limited availability for the 5th row bench seats. So there you go. So that's all that. So again, some of the plants are scheduling, and this is just cleanup. Again, just to kind of remind people, this is scheduling for last month. So June's allocations are still being used, even though we're in July. Next week will be the refresh of the new allocations for July allocations for September build dates. So, all right. So for those of you that are watching the recorded version of this on Wednesday, put your comments down below. If you're with us live, let's go over to Sarah. There you go. Got any questions for me?
I am currently pasting the sign up. Well, it's our informational page on McArthur's website. And if you scroll down a little bit, the sign up link is right there. So just go to the link that I just posted. All right.
For the event?
Yes.
All right. Any questions on scheduling?
Yeah. Let's see. I thought I did. Okay. Ordered an F-150 trimmer back in February. Only update I have received was the original notice that they were working on scheduling. 5 months now, no update. What should I do?
On the F-150 trimmer back in February. Okay, so if it's a 402A, it might take a little while because that's going to come with the Pro Access tailgate. So that's probably what you're having issues with there. So it could have something to do with something else on that 402A, but more than likely you have a 402A, and so it takes a little longer to get that scheduled. I know we had some of ours take a little long to get scheduled. So, yep. Otherwise, you might, another thing you can always look at on any order. I always recommend this. A lot of people they don't think about it because you have this order bank, you have all these possibilities, you have dealer installed options, you have all these accessories and beds, and like, hey, you know what? I can get it built that way and it comes in and I'm done. I don't have to, find some place to add the spray and liner. or get this bed cover installed myself and this and this and this. I can just tell you though, if you add any, because that's sometimes that's a situation too, is if you have like a spray and bed liner, where like on the King on the Super Duty, they said we need more spray and bed liners, but on F-150, most weeks that's actually a constraint. So make sure you don't have any bed accessories. And I mean, that's a strange thing about it. You know, like, well, all I have is a spray and liner. How is that a constraint? It doesn't say there is. But you'd be surprised. I've had that happen with a lot of models where I'm like, well, let's take this off, and then it gets scheduled. So the easier the configuration, the easier it is to get scheduled. So, and you know, for it to fit in the configurations of what they're looking for, especially this late, like if you're trying to get scheduled this week, it's got to be a pretty basic build. More likely you won't get scheduled this week. But starting for next week, and it could also be dealer allocations, which get refreshed next week. So we can be looking for that, hopefully get scheduled next week. But try not to have any dealer installed options. Those splash guards, you know, bed covers, any of those types of things that I always say bed accessories, but any of your DIOs, get them off your order. I mean, I've been ordering vehicles for almost 20 years, and I can tell you those accessories will hold up. I mean, if I have 2 orders, I have one that has a bed cover and a spray and liner and all this other stuff, and I have one that doesn't have any of that stuff, and let's say there's one thing out of that that's in short supply, it gets put off and they're going to schedule this other one. It's the name of the game. So even if that order was after the other order, because the first thing that's looked at isn't the date that the order was put in, but the configuration of the order is first. It has to fit the configuration that they're looking to schedule, that they can schedule, I should say. Not that they're looking to, but what they can schedule based on their supplies, especially this late in the month. Mm. I know it's early. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it's July. I get it. It's the second week of July. Why are they scheduling for July's allocations? It's just the way they do things. And the week of July 4th, they were pretty much shut down. So
yeah,
just consider this the first week of July, because typically the second week of July, or the second week of the month, is usually when we see allocations being start up. So
yeah.
So I don't know.
All right.
That's the best advice I can have. I can't really, I mean, without seeing your order completely, I can't say, but
right.
Sometimes, and since I can't see your dealer and see what allocations they have, I can't tell you that anything, because it could just be the fact that maybe they don't get a lot of F-150 allocations.
All right. Any news on model year 25 F-150? I've given up trying to get my model year 24 F-150. I've been waiting 2 years for a Raptor 37. 2 different dealers, only 2 in my city.
Okay, that Raptor 37, they're only producing of all the Raptors. Now, I say not all the Raptors. Of the Raptors and Raptor 37s combined, only 30% of them are built as a 37. And that's with all dealers. So like we struggled. We had some Raptor 37s and we couldn't get them scheduled. We were like, okay, you know, you're giving us Raptor allocations, which there's 2 different types of Raptor allocations. There's Raptor allocations and there's Raptor R allocations. Raptor Rs are a separate allocation from the regular Raptors. And of the regular Raptor allocation, you have the Raptor base and your Raptor 37. 70% of them built are going to be base. The other 30% will be 37s. But if let's say a dealer gets 1 allocation, they might fulfill that with a regular Raptor and not a Raptor 37. It is really difficult to get a Raptor 37. That's why when I see, I don't think there's a problem when a dealer is marking up the Raptor 37. It is hard to get a Raptor 37 or to find one. You'll probably know that because you've been waiting and waiting to get it scheduled. 25 model year won't change that though. But I don't know when the order banks are going to open up for the 25 model year. All I can go off of is when production started last year and assumptions that maybe they'll start about the same time this year. And what was it? December is when they started building 24 model year F-150. So let's say they started up in November, go back 3 months. That's when order banks should open up. So possibly August, beginning of September might be when the order banks open up. So that's just speculation. I have no concrete information. Ford hasn't told me anything. I haven't found anything. It's just, I'm guessing, and that's just educated guess. It's like Johnny would like to say usually on his videos.
Yes.
And a lot of models, I can't tell you. Like people have asked me about Super Duty. Even had the owner, the dealership today asking, when do you think Super Duty is going to open up for 25? I'm like, well, you sound like that's exactly questions I get almost every Tuesday night. There's not, I mean, trust me, when there's information, I will tell you guys in the live stream that I will not let that go unnoticed. We'll talk about that in the scheduling once those order banks are going to open up, definitely. But right now, I've looked through and I haven't seen anything hidden or anything. I believe maybe Bronco Sport and Mavericks, they're going to be the next one up to open up to order banks beginning of August. Outside of that, I don't know. I'm expecting Expedition too real soon. Mm-hmm. I think I saw some. Well, Mustang might be next actually, because I think that's next week. Right, the 17th. I think the 17th is when the order banks open up for the Mustang. 15th, somewhere next week. I think Mustang opens up. That'll probably be the next one, and then maybe Ranger or something. So I don't know. Like I said, we don't have that information. They don't. Sometimes they don't even tell dealers, and then all of a sudden you'll just come in the morning and go, "Oh, order banks open up. We can order 25 Mustangs now." Sometimes they tell us at the beginning of a month and go, "Hey, this is when you can expect this order bank to open up." And they didn't even mention Mustang, but I found that, so we'll see. Mustang should open up next week. So again,
all right.
A lot of times they tell media before they tell us as dealers, because they know as dealers we're going to
start telling our
customers, and then it'll get leaked and it'll get on social media, and then all of a sudden media gets mad because they're like, "Why don't we know?" Because media feel like they should get the first one to know.
They should be able to break the news.
Which now is starting to be part of media. I'm like, I get it. I get it. Especially if I'm going to spend money and fly to auto shows and different things to get content, and then to have things squeaked early or leaked early, it really upsets me as a media person going, wait a minute, I'm using my own money to get to these events so that I can be part of the team that releases it.
No, we went to Detroit for the Mustang reveal 2 years ago.
And then they leaked it that afternoon.
Yeah, that like in 30 minutes before, we're sitting there waiting to film this or live stream this, and we're getting messages from the general manager like, "Hey, did you see it dropped already?" And we're like, "Nuh-uh."
He said, how's it look? I said, we haven't seen it yet.
We're like, have you seen it?
Yeah.
We're waiting for it to start revealing.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of us being here, is that we could live stream the reveal.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Ranger Raptor, I mean, that's kind of a long way to answer that, but that is frustrating. Yeah, finding a top dealer that does Raptors. Like I said, we usually get about, 3 to 5 Raptor allocations a month, but what do we get? Maybe one Raptor R every other month. But we did have a hard time getting some of our Raptor 37 scheduled. We've gotten 2 or 3 scheduled now, but it was pretty rough trying to get them scheduled. We actually had to go and beg. We were like, look, we got a customer here that, we've been waiting. Now, what they can do is what the dealer should do is what a lot of times what we'll do is we won't put the order in until we get the allocation, because then what it'll do is if that allocation is in there and we have all these orders, they'll pick the order for us. They'll pick whatever they can configure easily and go, well, this dealer doesn't have a Raptor 37, so we're going to give them all these regular Raptors. So if your dealer actually got a Raptor allocation and if they didn't have any regular Raptor orders, guess which one's they're going to schedule? They're going to schedule that 37, your 37. But you can't really tell a dealer take out those other orders, right? That's not fair to them either. So, but that's typically a lot of times you'll see with us, you're like, hey, we have a Raptor allocation, we're needing an order. And that's because, guys will take lists, and then we'll usually tell the guys, hey, we get a Raptor allocation or Raptor R allocation this week. Who's got that? Who's got the next, or who's got an order? Who's next? And we'll have that list. And so we know, nope, this is the one that's next. And then we put the order in. That's typically how we do it on Raptors, because we don't want to have those orders in there because they'll just schedule it, and it may not be the one that's next in line.
Right.
So, all right.
So, what is this process? I hear something called preview orders on Tuesday, and then if the order is previewed, then Ford may select your order on Thursday. I don't understand what the reason for preview. So, the preview means that they are looking at the orders, and they've selected, we need this many lariats, so let's select the lariats out of this bunch of vehicles and let's look at them and see which ones meet our criteria of what we have parts for. So they only have so many of each parts. They only have this many that they can build. So they're looking to see what they can and can't build. And that's what the preview is for.
It's also to help dealers know that, hey, you have, like, okay, for instance, we have 5, not Bronco, Explorer. I don't know. We had 5 orders, allocations available for one of our models today. We had 1 previewing in that model. So that told us, okay, so those other orders are configuration they can't build. So we need to place orders in the system that to fulfill those allocations. So it's another way, because you got to remember that we don't have just retail orders in the order bank. We also have stock ones, because if we don't have, like for right now, Bronco Sport, we have 0 retail orders in the order bank for Bronco Sport, but we have allocations that need to be fulfilled. So they'll be fulfilled with stock ordering. So we want to make sure we place those in there, because if we don't, Ford will place orders for us, and they'll place it based on what they need to keep the plant producing vehicles. So like an example I mentioned on the Maverick, they produce 20% XLs, 50% XLTs, and 30% Lariats. Guess which one of those 3 they have the least amount of orders in the order bank for? The Lariat. So if we don't have, like, we're going to get 100 allocations for Maverick. If we don't have 100 orders in there, our orders, then stock ones, they're going to create orders for us for our dealership. And guess what they're going to create? They're going to create those Lariats, and they're going to create EcoBoost, because those are the 2 things that they don't have that many orders for. And it's a great way to push those to dealers. In a sense, they get those orders. And if dealers aren't paying attention and they don't pay attention to the previewing, we'll look at those and go, wait a minute, where'd this order come from? Well, if we didn't have enough orders in there before they started previewing for that week, they will generate an order, and then it'll be previewing, and that allows us to be able to see what's previewing, going, wait a minute, we don't want that order to be scheduled. We want this retail order to get scheduled instead. So we have to do something to that order. I shouldn't say this, because Ford might be watching. There's a way, dealers, if you're paying attention, that you can make it to where that stock doesn't get scheduled, but a retail does instead, that you have. So there's a way to make sure to not allow that dealer to do it. There's enough dealers in there that aren't paying attention that they can just work with them. But that's how we've gotten actual vehicles on our lot that customers want, instead of vehicles that Ford feels like they need to make. Kind of like right now on the Super Duty, they need 6.8 liters, because for them to produce 30,000 Super Duties, way for them to do that is they got to build so many XL 6.8s, because they have the engines. But nobody wants a 6.8 liter engine. So what are they doing? They're forcing on dealers instead, right?
Yeah.
Because that allows their plant, instead of building 25,000 because nobody wants a 6.8 liter and that's what they have left, they want to be able to build 30,000 Super Duties, if that makes any sense. So anyway, I don't know. Did I answer that question?
Yeah.
Okay. I get to rambling and ranting.
And
I get to ramble and rant and ranting, and I go.
So the way we answer questions is I'll answer it in short, and then he goes in depth. He dives into it.
Previewing. That's what it was about. The question was about previewing. But yeah, so orders will be previewed. That just allows dealerships to see their what's being previewed before they actually get scheduled. So, and sometimes those premium orders will change. Like Sarah said, sometimes they'll change, but I've had my order many times preview one week, not schedule that week. So we actually have one of our members that has a 450 that was previewing in April. It previewed that week in April, didn't schedule, and hasn't previewed since. But neither has any of our other 450s. So I think right now on Super Duty, on 450s in general, it's about a year behind. We just had, because if you look at dates, we just had 2 450s scheduled a couple weeks ago, and they were our June orders. They were ordered last June.
Yeah.
And they finally got scheduled. Right now, I think our oldest order in the 450s is July right now, and I know that his was one that was ordered in October or November. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, oh no, he's got a little ways to wait. But it previewed, so you just never know. So.
All right, those are all the scheduling questions I have.
Okay. All right. Okay. we'll get into the dealer news. I'm going to go back to this camera, I think, for this. So where's that at? I just moved over to the questions. Okay. We'll get in.
While you're reading that stuff off, I'm just a pretty face.
That allows you to be able to chat, because then it's if I just get to talking and you're not, you're looking at the chat, that looks kind of weird on the camera. So we'll go that route and see how it goes. But all right, dealer news, and then we'll do Q&A after that, or questions on dealer news if they have it. I don't really have a lot here, so this won't take long. Okay, so for good dealer news here, we do have basically the end results of Ford for sales. We talked about production earlier with the information on production, but here's actual sales. So Ford, of course, still the number one selling pickup manufacturer in the world. F-Series remains the best, America's best selling. I'm getting this from media.ford.com. They outsold second place Silverado by 71,000 vehicles and Ram by 173,000 trucks. And this is through June. So this is first 2 quarters here. Maverick and Maverick Hybrid, number one selling hybrid truck in the U.S. And it has a new first half record as well. And all F-Series totaled 199,463 in quarter 2. That's up 30% from quarter 1, because quarter 1 was they had all those F-150s sitting. They weren't sending out. Transit's the best, America's best-selling van. First half sales record as well. So they had the most all-time sales record SUV sales as well during the first half of 2024, topping the previous record that's set in 2017. So Ford usually kind of struggles on SUV, but is, I think, with Bronco and Bronco Sport, it's picking up momentum. All right. The Ford hybrid sales increased 56% to 53,822, a new quarterly sales record since first offered the hybrids more than 2 decades ago. Maverick, America's best-selling hybrid pickup. It's not the only hybrid pickup, but I don't know who else makes a hybrid pickup other than Ford. With sales totaling 40,420 through the first half of the year. Approximately 60% of all Maverick hybrid customers come from other brands. Many are trading in small SUVs, cars. A lot of those were probably hybrid cars that they're going into. Talk about electric sales real quick. Electric sales did increase 61%, it says, in the second quarter, with 23,957 sold, and are up to up 72% for the year. So that's the first 2 quarters, with 44,180 total EVs. That includes mach-e, Lightning, and the e-Transit. So, because not really anybody else has an electric van other than Ford. Mach-e sales rose 46% over last year and are up 58% through the first half of the year. So that's good. And then, of course, the number one selling electric truck is the F-150 Lightning, 15,645 through June of this year. Lightning sales for quarter 2 totaled 7,902, up 77% from a year ago. So most of those are probably the 23s that dealers are trying to get rid of. Let's see what else. I think that's about it when it comes to the sales information. So that's all I have about that. There are incentives here. I was going to go through those, but I don't know if I'll worry about those. Just some of the highlights. 23 model year Escape has $1,000 rebate and 0% for 60 months. If you see a 23 Escape out there somewhere. 23 Broncos have $1,000 retail bonus cash and $1,000 Conquest if you're coming from a Jeep Wrangler, or I think any Jeep, actually. Explorer, 23 model year Explorer. Of course, 25s are coming real soon. $5,000 cash back. We don't have any 23. We don't have any 23s. So, but other dealers might if you're looking for one. Super Duty, a 23 Super Duty out there. You find one of those, excluding chassis cabs, $2,500 cash back. Moving to the 24 model years Escape. 24 model year Escape has $1,075. Don't know where they got the $75 from. And you get 1.9 for 60 months, or I think it's 3.9 for 72 on those. Pretty good leases as well. If you're looking to lease an Escape, I think there's pretty good leases on the Active. And then Bronco Sport, there is $1,250 plus $1,000 Jeep Conquest. I know they're really trying to push Bronco and Bronco Sport family, the Bronco family, and they have some commercials coming out. So they're going to have some of that. Also, pretty good lease on the Bronco Sport Big Ben as well. So you can lease a Bronco Sport pretty good. Bronco, $1,000 Conquest, no other rebates or incentives. Edge, of course, that's finishing up. 24 model year Edge, 1.9 for 60, plus $2,500. There you go. Actually, Kansas City does not get that. Kansas City, it's $1,500. It says, which actually I thought it was $1,000. So I have to look at that. But each region could be different. So some of these rebates, these are for the Kansas City region. So it may be different in your region. If you're not seeing that, that would be why. Explorer 24 model year retail 3.9 for 60 months plus $1,800. Don't know where they get the 18. Don't want to give you that other $2,000 or $200 there. There's a pretty good lease on 24 model year Explorer as well. Expedition $4,000 cash back or 2.9 for 72 months. So they've increased that $1,000. It was $3,000 last month. F-150 XLT, the Kansas City region is $2,000 cash. F-150s get trade-in assist, or XLTs get trade-in assistance of $1,000 as well. Or you can take 3.9 for 72 and $900, and on XLTs another $1,000 for trade-in assistance. That's again for the KC and Memphis region. Dallas and Houston, it's different. So there you go. So there's that in the way of incentives. There you go. And then there's really killer incentives on the electric vehicles. So if you're looking to get a Mach-E, check that out. There's some serious, silly leases on Mach-E's right now. So there you go. There's that. All right. What you got? Any questions about that?
No.
Usually isn't. Okay. Well, next is recalls. I only have 2. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
None of them are safety recalls either. So we head on to that then.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 safety recalls. This first one is Customer Satisfaction Program 24N01 for 2020 to 2022 F-150 Explorers. Actually, we've talked about the advanced dealer notice of this, so this isn't new to us if you follow the live stream. But this does affect 309,126 Explorers. The reason for this one is in some of the affected vehicles, the rear axle bolt may fracture. A fractured rear axle bolt will allow the rear axle housing to move out of position, resulting in severe noise and vibration. If the rear axle bolt breaks, the drive shaft or half shafts may become disconnected, resulting in loss of transmission torque to the rear wheels. Transmission torque is necessary to hold the vehicle in park and is also needed for the vehicle to move forward or backward. So they do have the repair available now. So the letters are going to go out to owners that have this recall the week of July 15th. So next week. So this is the official recall now that we have all of that information out. All right. This next one also is the official recall. This is a Customer Satisfaction Program 24P16 for 23 model year Mustang Mach-E vehicles. So this program will be in effect through July 31st of 2025 for vehicles within the new bumper-to-bumper warranty coverage period. 7,032 vehicles are affected by this. The reason for this program: on the affected vehicles, the remote climate control module may stay awake after the vehicle is turned off, creating a key off load. This may cause DTC B1616-04 to set and a message electrical system drain service required to appear on the instrument panel, and may also lead to a discharge of the 12-volt battery if the vehicle is parked for approximately 10 to 15 days. So this in here, owners will not be mailed for this program. Basically just allows for dealers to know that this is available for those customers. So if they come in with this issue, then they'll know what to do. And they'll be able to take care of them. Like I said, they have up to a year for this. So there you go. That's that. Just 2. I'm going to keep this off to the side and check and see if Jeff, so that he knows if he's having any issues on his mach-e. He's at 23. All right. Those recalls. And if you want to know if your vehicle has any recalls, don't forget you can go to ford.com/support/recalls-details. And you can put in your VIN number and you can see if your vehicle has any open recalls. There you go. Because I just cover the recalls that have come out within the last week. I don't cover, you go back to all of them. I think they found out I think I saw something where there's been 34 recalls issued this year already.
Yes.
So, anyway. But
it's good because they
keep them safe.
Keeping people safe. They're
like this here.
Their problems.
Like this here. This is a recall. This one on the mach-e, they don't have to do, right? It's just an issue that they could just tell dealers here that if somebody comes in with this issue, then we're just going to take care of it past their warranty date, right? But they don't have to.
Is there a recall for the Maverick that replaces the engine or transmission or something?
I don't know.
Is one of our viewers called in today and said that he had one of the codes pop up, but to be able to get the replacement, you have to have 2 codes pop up simultaneously.
Oh, I thought it was one or the other.
Nope, it's both codes have to pop up, according to his dealer.
I don't know.
I forgot to tell you that earlier.
I'm not sure about that one. Anyway, I don't know. I know that there's an issue. Some people have noticed that when they get up to like between 24 and 34,000 miles, their CV joints are going out early. But it's within the recall. It's within your warranty, so it should be covered. I don't know. Right. I don't know. I haven't heard any. Like there hasn't been any kind of recall on that or TSB. TSB is a technical service bulletin, I believe. Sometimes they'll have those out so people will know whatever. But I guess some are replacing them with better ones or something.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway. All right. Next, I got an Is It True? About the Maverick.
Is it true?
All right. So this came out, Ford Authority. And I don't have the link to the Ford Authority article. I'm just going to link the website where they sourced basically in theirs, where we're seeing that in 25 model year Maverick, we're seeing images of the new screen. I actually covered it in my Maverick Monday back. I don't know what episode it was, but we covered it too, saying it will probably have the screen that'll look a lot like the Escape screen. And we actually got in a Ford Escape to show you what it looks like and everything. But according according to Ford Authority, there's this website that you can get these upgrades on the screens. And this actually isn't new. They actually have them available for the Bronco as well. I looked at it. I know some people have upgraded their Bronco 8-inch screen to a 12-inch screen. Now in the Maverick, they're saying you can get the screen that you're going to see in the 25 model year on your 21 or your 22 to 24 Maverick. So let me pull this up. So here you go. Let me go to this view here. Here, we don't need this big here. Try this out.
Yes, Paul Newbert had it right. Thank you.
So it does say Ford Sync or Ford Sync 4. You can see the website up there, sync4.com. Anyway, so you'll see they have some upgrades, sync upgrades for the F-150, 250, 350, Expedition Maverick, it says. You can see those different ones. So you can upgrade your, some of the Expeditions, you can get a 15.5-inch Sync 4A in like your ST, or not ST, but the Stealth Edition and such. Or you can, if you have an 8-inch screen in some of the older Expeditions, you can go to 12-inch screen. So they provide different ones. Now they're going to provide this 8-inch to 12 or 13.2-inch Sync upgrade. You can see that there. So if you want to upgrade that, you can see how much it is. $4,000. $4,000. The company provides a warranty with this. It even comes with wireless Android Auto because it gives you the Sync 4 upgrade as well. So that's basically the same screen they put in the Escape. So it's probably that one there. And check this out. This is one thing I thought was interesting. See that little, this is the motor or something you got to put in it, software you got to put in it. See what it says in there? It says assembled in Mexico. So is that coming to your Mavericks for 2025? I think so. Anyway, so you can check that out. So you can purchase that if you want. So you can see, evidently, I'd assume it looks like you have the screen there, and you have the other stuff in there. But I would hope that they give you all the stuff to take out the old screen and mounting and everything. But anyway, but there you go. Question is, well, is that what it's going to look like? But there you go. They provide that. They do that for the Bronco too. So I actually looked at the Bronco because on the Bronco you can go to the 12-inch screen if you want it. Where's that picture there? So if you don't, instead of the 8-inch screen, if you want the 12-inch, you can do that and get it. And this is an upgrade. And that one, it's $2,000. But this is where I kind of actually want to talk about another topic in a sense that's kind of came up with Niles and I this week. And that is, if you do something like this, keep in mind your warranty might get voided. So they're going to provide, I think, a 1 year, and that's going to be anything that they gave you to connect. So if that goes down, if the screen goes down, if the little modular, whatever, goes down, they'll cover that. But if by plugging your vehicle in to the Ford, if it throws an electrical error, Ford's not going to cover that. That will void your warranty with Ford. So just keep that in mind. This is not a Ford sanctioned website in here. This is a company that's basically ordering a bunch of these different parts through Ford for the different screens, ordering a bunch of them in and configuring them for these vehicles and giving you instructions so you can install it yourself. And that's great. Just keep in mind, it could void your warranty. And so just, think about that. I know there's some people that reach out to us about, hey, I like this one feature in this trim level. It's not available in this other trim level, but that's the only thing I want out of that trim. I don't want to go up to that. So can I just order the part for that and put it in mine? We don't recommend it. So if we're, as a dealer, we're not going to stand behind it. We're not going to do it for you. So if you want to do it yourself, you're on your own.
Yeah. Just like, a lot of people on Maverick Truck Club are saying, oh, I can add, Copilot 360 onto my Maverick with ForeScan. If something happens to your vehicle
or adaptive cruise,
and they find that the problem came from you changing the system, they are going to void your warranty. They're not going to help you whatsoever.
They won't cover that issue if it comes up. I've seen people put a different steering wheel in their Maverick. They put like an Escape steering wheel so they can have adaptive cruise. Yeah. And then, but then you have to add the sensor and everything. Yes. If you want the features, just order that vehicle. That's my recommendation. Right. Is you order the XLT. It doesn't come with this adaptive cruise. You have to settle with that. Well, you just pick your. That's what I wouldn't manipulate your vehicle any more than that. I mean, accessories is one thing, but totally changing the software or something like that, I wouldn't do it. And I'm saying that as an owner, right? I don't want to change too much. I mean, I've been doing some wiring on the Bronco for, some different things for lights and such like that. And I've been able to wire into auxiliary switches, which that is by Ford. So Ford gives you those, but I don't mess around with too much of add some other stuff. If my dealer won't do it, my service department won't do it because they're afraid it's going to mess up some warranty, then I'm not going to do it. Right. But I'm just throwing that out there.
There's even some parts that you add to your vehicle, it's voiding your warranty.
Now the ForeScan, I know that like MapSim and VTech and all that have done some things with ForeScan. Most of those things you can get in there and do ForeScan and you can use it. Then that's not going to void your warranty. It opens up some things that are there and the vehicles are capable for. I'm saying when it comes to like some of these other things, like some of these other parts and such, those you just might want to think twice.
And I know like VTech has added stuff to his vehicle, to his Maverick, so that it's race ready. But he is a tech. He is a Ford Is he a master tech?
I'm not sure, but I know he's very aware of what he's doing and knowing
Yes.
that it may or may not. And some people don't have a problem with that.
I
Going, you
believe
know what?
he's
I'm good with that.
yeah, I
I
believe he's grown
understand
up
that.
around vehicles. He's an actual trained technician for vehicles. So what he's doing to his vehicle,
Yeah.
he feels that he can do because he has that experience in that.
Ragnarcon's done some stuff with, I think, the Forescan.
Yes.
But like I said, Forescan, I'm not as nervous about. If you want to get a Forescan and you want to do some things, it's not just Forescan, it's something else he's doing. Anyway, that's one thing. But like even Ragnarcon had said, hey, this is throwing these things and it's not working or whatever. You got to go back and figure out. And so then you may have to reverse that or whatever. But again, I think it's bigger if you're trying to change and manipulate. Like, okay, I got an XL, it doesn't have the power mirrors, let's say, but I want to add the power mirror from an XLT. Can it wire in? I don't know. Some of that stuff, not saying it can't work or anything. I just keep in mind that XL or XLT may not have the wiring to enable you to do some of those things, and that could throw an electrical issue or a wiring issue that may void your warranty. Just be aware of that and think about that before you jump into some of those. Just think through it really good. And some of you may not, you paid cash or whatever, maybe you don't care, and that's okay. So
yes, I like Paul Newbert's comment here. I love Forescan as long as I back up the original as-built file for when I mess things up.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. And then Ragnarcon said it's that
FDRS.
FDRS. Thank you. Ford Engineers Forescan.
Yes.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. And he's actually, check out his channel because he's one of the ones we link in the description that we follow. He just did a video recently. He added new badges. I watched your videos. Just funny because my YouTube right now is not giving me notifications on any of the channels I follow. So I've got to go hit my subscriptions and see what's new every night. But I watched that last night for All Train Nation. But yeah, he's gone through and done some stuff with that. So yeah, and he goes through that. So anyway, just throwing that out there. So, all right. Now, are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. Show's over. Nothing's on my mind. No, no. This week we had two things that came out on Monday for dealers as dealer bulletins that I want to cover, and that kind of leads me, and both of these lead into making sure your dealership doesn't overcharge you or charge you when they shouldn't for services or certain things. And this first one actually is something we've talked about on the live stream, as well as I've done separate videos on, and that is price protection. So I think it's such a big issue that dealers aren't honoring price protection that they're making it even easier for dealerships to do the right thing for their customers. So this is something that came out. It says retail ordered vehicles are eligible for price protection if the vehicle pricing is adjusted within the model year from the time of order to the time of production. Original order price is protected at time of order unless there is changes to the body code or the PEP package. Body code would be, if it's a Super Crew 4x4 versus Super Crew front wheel drive, that's your body code. Typically, PEP codes like your trim level. To confirm eligibility, customer information at the sale must match customer information at the time of order. So it does have to be for that. The customer ordered it, they get the price protection. It says following the sale, the dealer will receive an adjusted invoice and the dealer is paid on the dealer payment statement 30 to 45 days after sale. It even gives in here the overview, price protection overview, which are things that I've shared on the live stream. So this is not a new thing, but dealers, that we used to do that when there was a lot of constraints. No, this actually happened. This initiated back in 2016 when they used to do once a year price increases. Anyway, so it says until now, the dealer has been required to print and retain a copy of the WebDo order summary or the DORA, that's the dealer order receipt acknowledgement, to determine the protected price of the eligible vehicles, which, by the way, a DORA can be printed later. If you forget it and you don't get it at the time you change the order, there's like a couple people in the dealership, general manager included, and general sales manager, that can actually go back and print your old doors. Anytime you made changes, you can see all of them, which is kind of cool. Anyway, before you needed that to determine the protected price of the eligible vehicle. On vehicles invoiced after July 8th, 2024, the protected invoice amount will now be included on eligible invoices. So I still say try to get that DORA if you make any changes or when you order the vehicle, because what it will show you is the original MSRP on the order. This is only going to show the invoice amount, the protected invoice amount. So basically at the bottom of that sheet, it'll actually show the protected invoice. I'm going to show you this sheet, even though I probably shouldn't. So down there, you can kind of see that bracket there. So at the bottom of it, it'll have your A plan, D plan, pricing, and then protected invoice amount will be down there. That's just an example they're showing. So, and then once that's submitted to qualify, then they'll readjust the invoice if, yes, the person that ordered it buys the vehicle. When they receive that within a week, they will adjust the invoice to give the dealer back the difference of what they owed them from invoice to invoice. They really need to, Ford, if you're watching this, you probably aren't, include the original MSRP as well. That would help dealers if they're selling it. Probably the reason they're doing invoices because they think most dealers are going below MSRP. Maybe, I don't know, but you need to include the MSRP too. Then that would help us not have to go to the DORAs to figure that out. But anyway, I would just recommend for customers, dealers now have no reason not to give you the right price. It even has it on the invoice now. So Ford's trying to do everything they can to make sure that dealers aren't screwing over their customers in a sense. But I would still make sure when you order your vehicle, get a copy of that web to order summary, so you know, and then every time you make changes, get a new one, because if you make changes to your order, then it will be the new price. So anyway, just so you know that. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. Now it does say that this update does not display the AXZD plan prices. So they will not adjust your A plan prices, just the invoice. They're going to adjust that only. So because it's about getting the dealership back their money. And so that's why they're only going to do the invoice amount. And then I can show the other, which makes it a little bit tricky that's why MSRP as well as those prices, they should be updating those too. But oh well, hey, I can't be picky. They're at least doing that, right? So that is price protection. That is something, making sure you get that. And people that aren't paying attention at home, price protection and private offers can be used together. So if you had a 23 model year and you get one of those transition private offers and you're able to get that, and then you order at the beginning of the year and now they've had 2 price increases on the Maverick, you're still locked into what it was when you ordered the vehicle. So that's why you do get price protection, which is done on the dealer payment statement. The private offers are done through Smart Vincent, and those you get both. There's some dealers are like, oh, you get one or the other. I'm like, no, you get both. So all right, the other one has to do with dealer installed options. So 25 model year labor rate is changed for the 25 model year vehicles. So I always try to tell you to keep away from your dealer installed options. But just in case you like, Tim, I don't care. I want it anyway. And I want the wheel locks or this, something else that's dealer installed. I can't think of something, splash guards, something like that. Those are dealer installed options. I still want those. Okay. So just know the dealer is not to charge you any kind of install fee for that. If you ordered on your order, it's there. So this memo in here is to remind dealers that on 25 model year is going to be done a little bit differently. They're going to base it off your warranty labor rates instead of $120 per hour. So on 24 model year vehicles, the labor rates will be at $120 per hour for install. So they tell you how much the labor, how long it should take you to install these, and they give you $120 per hour for each of those. Some of these things, especially dealers, if they have different techs doing it within the dealership and they're not very good at it, it could take them longer than what they give them. But if you've done it for a while, then you get better and faster at it, then you can actually get it done within the hours. But the dealer is not to charge you for this. They're getting reimbursed twice a month, it says in here, for the labor cost. And so now on the 25 model year will be based on their warranty labor rates because they get reimbursed. So again, warranty work or recalls and such, the dealer gets reimbursed back for that, and it's based off those rates. And so they do that twice a month on the service side. So that's another example that when you go into a dealership, price protection is a thing, and don't let the dealerships charge you for any DIOs. So they should not be saying, okay, well, that is just for the part that you ordered. We still have to install it for you, and it took us 2 hours to install it. Or, well, Ford almost paid us for 1 hour for that. It really took us 2 hours to install it, so we have to charge you for another hour. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to be faster at installing it, which I still side to the fact that Ford doesn't pay the service departments enough for these, and I'll still say that, but that is not the customer's fault. So, I mean, what Ford does is what Ford does, but which is another reason why I like to say do it afterwards, because I think the dealership deserves what it takes them to really do the thing, to install it. But that's another reason why I like to have it done at the dealership, but that kind of thing. So anyway, all right. So other things to think about. So the dealerships on this topic of other add-ons and such like that is don't let dealerships talk you into the fact that, oh, you have to have a paint protectant that's included, or window tint. We do front window tint on every vehicle. You have to pay for that. You have to pay for these. Now, I also tell you that is not something those are things that aren't on your vehicle. And like for us, we will never make you get those things or say they come with your vehicle and you have to pay for them. I've seen dealers have up to $2,000 of dealer add-ons that says we do that on every vehicle and you don't have a choice. If you want that vehicle, even your ordered vehicle that they haven't added these things on, it comes in without them. They're like, no, before you take delivery, we'll have these things installed on it. It'll take us a day and we're going to charge you $2,000 and you don't have anything to say about it. No, you can fight that and say, no, that's try throwing out there. It's against the law, all kinds of different things, but that is something else we're seeing happening. Our dealership is very big on being transparent about that you don't have to add anything. Before you purchase your vehicle, you get a chance to talk to our aftermarket department like Niles and say, is there anything you'd like to add to your vehicle? Right? You have an SUV. Would you like window tint? Would you like to protect the paint on the vehicle? Great. Okay. You want floor mats, that kind of thing. They're there to help you add anything so you can have it all done at time of delivery and be done. Right. That kind of thing. But it's not something. Now, the VIN etch, if you do see that on ours, make sure you have them take it off. It's put in the system so we don't forget to talk about it, because that is something very easy to forget to talk about, because that is something that is our sales guys are supposed to talk about, and they tend to forget things. So we put that on there. So if you do see that on any that you get at the dealership, make sure you remind them, I don't want that. Anything you don't want, we'll take off. So
now, so we offer our services to everyone, but they're nothing that we push or pressure you into. Being informed on everything we offer is a good thing.
Yep.
We do a lot.
And just like in finance, you go to finance, there's the rate for the, if you're going to, do a loan or whatever. But there's also other coverages you can put on your vehicle, warranties, right? Road hazard, tire, some other things. You can upgrade yours from that if you want. And again, they offer those to you. And by law, they have to tell you, and you have to sign something that says, yes, they offered them to me, and yes, I declined them. You have to fill that out. So,
there's some people out there, and I have to remind myself of this as being someone that's in the know of the car world. Not everyone has that knowledge. Not everyone knows about all of the add-ons that you can get. Not everyone knows about the warranties. So when your dealer is listing these things out to you, they may not trying to be pushy. They may just trying to help inform their customer, because not all customers know everything that goes into purchasing of a car.
Yeah.
So, in fact, we have things that are added onto our paperwork, like VIN etching and things like that, which you can say, I don't want that, remove it. Gladly, we will remove that for you. It's not already on your vehicle. That's just a service that we offer. We add it in. It's automatically added in to our pricing. so that our salesmen do not forget to mention it.
Not our pricing, but when you do the paperwork,
Yes.
it'll be on the paperwork. It's on the paperwork. Yeah.
It's on the initial paperwork that our salesman presents to you as a way to not forget about it. And if you see it on there, you can certainly say, I don't want that.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go draw up another set of papers for you.
Yep. Take that off. Real easy to do. Just like our dealer fee as well. So, yeah. See what else? I think that's about it. I think that's the big ones. And then make sure that if you're ordering a vehicle, that they know that you can lock in any incentives at the time of your order, right? So I've been mentioning that on all my complete guide videos when we go over the build and price. That don't forget, you can lock in. So when you order, it's called protect date. You lock in those incentives. If they're better when it comes in, you go with sales date incentives. That's in Smart Vincent as well. You can choose one or the other. So make sure they run both for you to see, what was available when I ordered, and then what's available now, and if there's any special rebates or incentives like Escape right now. If some of them are like Maverick. Let's say Maverick came out with a rebate tomorrow, right? And you order tomorrow, you get that rebate when it comes in. Mm-hmm. So even if they take that away the next month, it's when you locked in. I've actually had that happen where somebody ordered 1 month, the order banks closed down, and then they came out with incentives after that. And they were thinking of people taking delivery. Well, then if it's not available when theirs finally comes in because it's not built yet, it's gone. It's like, well, I wanted those incentives. I'm like, well, unless you reordered then, which we couldn't because the order banks are closed, or it came in, it's like one of those things. So anyway, all right. Anything else on that? Any questions on that? So. Here, I'll go over here. Comments.
Sorry, we're talking about eating cake out of a coffee mug. Yes. All right.
I try to stay on task here, and you're like All-Terrain Nation, where you get off task. And actually, on All-Terrain Nation, I do enjoy the chat quite a bit, so I get that. But I want to make sure I cover everything, and we don't get off task topic here. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Dave and Kelly. All right. Mm-hmm. Are you ready for Q&A?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thought that's what we were doing.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see the...
That's what I said.
I didn't see the
I was like, do we have any questions about that or anything else?
Not specifically about that.
Well, any questions now?
All right.
We'll open up for any. Even though we could have done questions.
We need a cat or dog as a mascot for the show.
Dave and Kelly, their cat comes in there.
Can I bring my little dachshund in? He'll sit in my lap the entire time.
I'd like to keep on. Okay, so we kind of keep on, at the beginning, we kind of talk about different things like that. But once I get into scheduling or the dealer news, I like to keep on going through everything and not get off of talking about what we're talking for those that want to come in and watch this later or whatever. Yeah. And then towards the end, we can go off tangent and everything. I don't know. I just like to kind of keep it together.
And then at the end, we can kind of disperse again.
One of the reasons I went to the screen on the scheduling and the recalls and dealer news is because I've actually edited some videos where I wanted to do part of that video, and then you're over there in the chat and you're not even paying attention to what I'm talking about. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to this in case I want to reuse that clip. It's on me.
Chat's usually talking
because then you're kind of over there looking like you're not paying attention to me. It's like, well, you're not. You're in the chat, but people don't. If it's something I pull from the video for another video, they don't get that. They're like, why is the lady in the background just doing nothing?
I am doing something.
You are. They just don't know that because they didn't watch the live stream.
Right. Yes.
So
I do answer questions while I'm in here.
Oh, I know you do.
Whether it's food related or not. All right. So Moondoggy said, weird, I did not see any Mavericks on your lot. We do not currently have any in stock, but we do have allocations. Yeah, so I posted something in Maverick Truck Club, and it says in there, the caption is, we are taking orders. We're taking orders, not you can purchase from us. So we are taking orders because we have 100 allocations and we have 50-ish orders.
So yes, we need some orders. So if you want to get yours and get guaranteed, and again, that's going back to, I wouldn't recommend trying to order an XL hybrid, but anything else, you should be good. Especially if you want like an EcoBoost from us, I can guarantee a September production date and October delivery date on those. If you want a hybrid, we'll do the best we can. Can't guarantee anything. But I just hope that they don't load us up, because we don't want to put like I said, if we don't put them in there, then I got to put in a 50 stock orders in there. If you guys don't order, I'd rather put in a retail order for a customer, and then it comes in, it's for them. I'd rather have that than to have to, because if we don't, Ford will load in 50 simulated orders for us on the Maverick, and I don't want them to. So I'd rather put in our own stock orders of what we know we can sell, because what they'll do is they'll put in a bunch of Lariat EcoBoost orders, and we know those we're going to sit on our lot. So there are some people out there with Lariats. I drove one too. I get it. And that's a great way to get some of the nicer loaded up equipment that normally is difficult to get, like on an F-150, because you got to go up to like 70 grand on one of those, and a Maverick, and only spend 40 grand, right? And I get that. But most people that look at the Maverick or at the XLT, that's why 50% of them that are building are XLTs. So if we do put stock ones in, and we're going to let you know, for the most part, the way we're probably going to order those is XL EcoBoosts and then XLT hybrids without deluxe packages. We're going to for us as a dealer, we're really good at knowing price points and knowing where we want to be able to, when that comes in, if we're struggling to sell it at MSRP, what price point can we get? So we want to be able to do a $25,000 Maverick. So if you have an XL EcoBoost, we're looking pretty close to 25,000. Same way on an XLT hybrid. Guess what? We need that to be under 30,000, right? And I think the easiest way to do that, I think we had some before that were 29.9 or somewhere right around there. And again, we're doing $1,000 off if you finance with us, and that's what we show on our website, is that includes financing with us. And if you don't, it's $1,000 more. So then it's an easy way for us to advertise that. Let's actually do. Let's pull this up. Let's actually have some fun here, and let's build out. Let's build some Mavericks that we might end up being on a lot, because this is kind of probably what we're going to have to do anyway. You want to take that off. So XL starting at 23.9. Oh, okay. So we're not going to be able to $25,000. We might be close. What is there you go. Just go down to the summary. Don't add anything. What's that price? You're 26,210. So I guess we can advertise on 25 unless we want to lose $200, then we could be 25,000. So we could 25,000 if you finance with us. So that's kind of, oh wait, there's an acquisition fee. We got to take that out. I hate when they do that. How do you go into their customized payment? We want to finance, save and close. There you go. See, 25.5. We can invoice it. We'll be at 25. There you go. See, so that's kind of the goal there. And then the other thing is to go back. Let's go XLT hybrid. What's an XLT hybrid? There's XLT hybrid. What's that going to come to on price? Acquisition fees in there again. Probably could do a subtraction, but I don't do that on live. See, 29.5. So 29.515 is without an extra cost color. So there you go, 29.5. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So if you want something different, and you're like, oh, I'll just wait till you get some on your lot, instead of ordering, it doesn't hurt anything. If you custom order with us, you decide you don't want it. Well, we had 70 people do that to us in February, March. It's not going to be an end of the world unless you order, unless you tell us you want a Lariat or something. We might ask you to put a deposit down, but we won't. But those are the ones we don't want to be, because the ones that when we had all those Mavericks, so 70 Mavericks, the last ones that went were the Lariats. Anyway. But yeah, if you wanted to say, hey, you know what, Tim, I want an XLT, but I want a Lux package. I want the Copilot 360. Great. Let's order you one. Because we're not going to order them that way. So if you want one like that, let's go ahead and order you one and get some in. We might order a couple like that, but there you go. But Yeah. Does Adaptive Cruise come with Copilot 360? So misconception of the wording. Okay, so Copilot 360. Let's go back here to this and show this. So let's clarify this, because I think there are some people that see XLT and they see Copilot 360 and they think that comes with Adaptive Cruise. So it does not. So you have to go up to so all Lariats will come standard with Adaptive Cruise. So that's how they're built now. I hate that they're doing that, but hopefully they change that next year. So the only way you can get that, the Adaptive Cruise, is on a Lariat trim. You have to go Lariat trim. So there are two different Copilot 360 packages. See, there's Copilot 360 package, and that package is available on XL, XLT, standard on Lariat. That's the one that gets you the Bliss with cross-traffic alert, and it gets a lane keeping system. That's pretty much all you get. XL also gets the power mirrors if you have that. And then on a hybrid, you get full-size spare, which is kind of weird. But the Copilot 360 Assist package is the one that gets the Adaptive Cruise. That package requires a Copilot 360 to get it. Well, I don't know why they had this. Isn't an option. It's standard equipment on all Lariats. Adaptive Cruise Control with stop and go, lane centering, evasive steering assist, and the rear sensors. So that is now standard on all Lariat trims, along with the Lariat Luxury package. I'd like to see Ford do, and I don't know why they're not doing it, because I can do this on a Bronco Sport, and I still bring that up. I can do this on an Escape. I can get the Escape. We just went over the Escape and went over those. Tech Package 1. That comes with the Adaptive Cruise. I can go for, I don't remember how much a package is, not that much. I can go with that package without going to the Comfort package or even the Heated Comfort, whatever, the cold weather package. I don't need that to get Copilot. Bronco Sport. Copilot 360 Assist Plus package is like less than $1,000, and I get all these features: Adaptive Cruise, basic steering, and I get navigation. Why this should be available on even an XL or at least an XLT. XLT should be able to get the Copilot 360 Assist Plus package in the Copilot. If you want to make them also order the Copilot package, fine, so be it, because I think they go hand in hand anyway. But Lux package has nothing to do with it. XLT Lux, I don't know. Rant, sorry. There's my rant. I think why are we not talking to each other as brands? You got a Bronco Sport brand team, you got Maverick brand team. Why are they not talking to each other? Right? This is not rocket science. You're making them at the same plant. This isn't hard. Anyway, I'd probably better be careful, because otherwise I'll get uninvited.
Stay positive.
That's right. I hope hopefully they make that change this year. They did ask me, the brand team did ask me and say, hey, what do you think it would take to get more people to order a Lariat trim? And I said, well, you need to take off all the standard packages. I think that would help, because there are some people that will go Lariat just because they want the ActiveX. They want the push button start and the intelligent access. I'm sorry, but I look for that in almost every vehicle now. That intelligent access, being able to go Lariat, getting the ActiveX seats, getting the power seat standard, getting the intelligent adaptive or intelligent access, getting the maybe even remote start, getting those features included as just a Lariat, and say, you know what, I don't need Deluxe, or I guess the Lariat didn't come with a power seat as part of Lux package, but I don't want the Lux package. I don't want this brand. And keep the bed liner thing off of the packages. Let us order those separate. I know you're trying to keep your people busy, and I get it, because we have guys, Niles will tell you, we got guys that do window tint, and guess what happens? When people don't order window tint, we have to create window tint jobs for them. So I get that, but I don't know. Just leave the aftermarket stuff to the aftermarket, the dealers and the aftermarket teams. They do it better than you do anyway. I don't know. Anyway, what the heck is ActiveX seats? They're a
leather,
kind of. They're a vinyl type of seat, but it doesn't feel like a vinyl, in my opinion. So it's more for active. It's active, and they are very easy to clean. So whereas leather, as a genuine leather, will have stains and all that, will get right into that leather, and you'll never get it out, right? But ActiveX, that wipes right off. I mean, so
And I will say, Levo has said that
simulated leather. Yeah.
Comparatively, dog hair is easier to get off the Active X than it is leather, just because it's easier to wipe down and it doesn't stick as easy.
Yep. Yeah.
He should know.
Leather will also wear over time. Like
Active
get into some like F-150 Lariats, and especially King Ranches, where it has that genuine leather. And you'll see them wear, and also like jeans will get into the. Like we've had so many of those with genuine leather.
Yeah.
If it's a tan seat, they'll turn blue with blue jeans, and farmers get in and out of the vehicles. Yeah. Anyway,
that's fun to see. So you get like a 2-year-old truck in here with tan seats, and it just has blue. They're stained.
Yeah. Anyway, I have ActiveX I had it in the Maverick. Basically that's what's in all your Mach-E's. So my Mach-E has an ActiveX with suede in it. But then the Expedition has it. In fact, so my wife had a Lincoln MKT. If you guys remember what that was. And that had the Waldorf's leather. So not only was it leather, but it was the Waldorf's leather, which is an upgraded leather. She drove that for about 3 years. And then we got her into an Expedition XLT with the ActiveX seats.
Hates it.
She didn't. She didn't know it was different. I said, "Well, how do you like those seats?" And she goes, "They're fine. I like my leather seats." I'm like, "They're not leather." I mean, but some people, I mean, it's kind of like with me with audio. Like you can throw in an 8 speaker or a 12 speaker. I won't notice the difference because
Levo can.
Right. Yeah. But you have some people that can. And same way with the seats. Some people are going to like, nope, I can tell that difference. So it just depends. Everybody's a little different. But
yeah,
I think ActiveX are just fine.
YouTube Car Spotter's Guide. He says the ActiveX is plastic cow.
Plastic. It's also supposed to be, you'll find ActiveX in a lot of like your EVs because they want to say that the EVs are supposed to be one of the purposes behind. Some people like to buy EVs because it's better for the environment. Also, they don't harm any animals with leather, right? And so you're not hurting any of that. So yeah, phone as a key available. Not many vehicles get phone as a key.
Mostly the EVs.
EVs. I won't use it. So here's the thing. When you're using phone as a key, that's basically using your phone as a key. And that also means that your phone has to have the Bluetooth on. I found when I had it connected that I was wearing down my battery on my phone a little bit more because I had it always on. And you always had to have this little notification that said phone as a key is activated. But also there are some people that are being able to manipulate the phone as a key to be able to unlock somebody else's car. So I tend to not use it. What I do like on the Mach-E that I haven't seen on any vehicle, and I think the Lightning's going to have it, is the walk-away lock. So I can get out of the vehicle, not lock it, not with a remote or anything. I walk away, I get a certain distance away, it locks it up for me. Mm-hmm. That I like. That is one of my favorite features on the Mach-E. That plus it goes when I want it to, as fast as I want it to.
All right. I have questions in here from the very beginning. Okay.
They probably aren't here anymore. Oh, they're not going to answer my question. I'm leaving.
Tim, what's your facts and thoughts on new model trade-ins presently? Is Ford going to throw a bunch of discounts in third quarter?
So one of the things that I have noticed what Ford's now, right now, they are throwing some incentives. Like F-150 does have some rebates and such, but it seems like to me, especially on the SUVs, they're not really throwing out rebates. They're manipulating the price or using incentives. Like I've noticed on the SUVs, what they really tried to do, other than Expedition, is they weren't giving any rebates. We always used to see rebates on Escape, on Explorers, and everything else. And you'd see these rebates. Okay, summertime rebates coming out. Now we're seeing less rebates, but instead the low interest rate, and then lowering prices instead of raising prices. So I think they want to manipulate how much dealers are making on it, and they're trying to manipulate the price instead of just using rebates. Because sometimes rebates, especially if they include it as dealer cash, dealer cash is a rebate given to the dealer that the dealer doesn't have to disclose to a customer if they don't want to. A lot of times we'll include all of us in our pricing because we'll use that competitive edge. But so I think that's Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we're seeing right now, especially when 25 model years starting to come out, we're starting to see rebates. So F-150 Super Duty has a rebate on the XL trim only. I wonder why, because Ford wants people to order more XL 6.8 liters. So they're trying to, again, manipulate the dealers to order what they need to keep production at the highest level. You know what I could see is rebates on the Maverick Lariat. That's what you might see. I would not put it past Ford to put out a rebate on the Maverick once production's done or something to help sell down those Lariats. That I don't know. I could see it, but I'm not saying that it's happening because Ford, like I said, Ford doesn't tell me squat. But I'm just saying I could see that happening. What they ought to do on the Maverick is come out with some low rates and stuff like that. I mean, that's what the Maverick customers need. If they're going to finance it, and there's somebody that probably don't have a lot of money, that's why they're going looking at the Maverick, to be honest. They don't have a big payment, or they don't have a lot in their budget. So giving them a low rate, I think, is more important. Giving them a good rate. On the Lariat, rebate might matter more, because those people, they want the features, so they probably can afford more. It's just they want to save some money.
Yeah.
I mean, here you have, what do these packages cost? I mean, actually, they don't have package costs on these because they don't list them. But I think the Copilot 360 Assist Plus package was less than, I think, $2,000 between the two. So why not you just say basically you get the packages for free? So right, make a $2,000 discount package. They do that on F-150 all the time. If you go 302A, you get a $2,000 discount package. Well, that offsets some of the cost of that package. So once customers will go ahead and select those. Well, what they ought to do on the Maverick is do a discount package. If you go Lariat, you get some of that money back, and so right, and entice you to want to buy a Maverick. So. But first, you got to get dealerships to actually sell them at sticker price, right? Or less.
Yes.
Brian might be able to tell us what the California dealers are doing. I don't know. I think they're probably the last holdouts, because they're still selling a lot. They're selling more. They say more Mavericks are sold in California than any other state.
Right.
There's also probably more population in California than any other state. Yeah. But it's because of that hybrid. But
yep. Anyone know if the scissor jack for the Maverick will extend enough to safely lift a 2-inch lifted Maverick?
Ooh.
I also saw.
I don't know. It went pretty high, like on ours, because so the Maverick, when I changed the tire, it was in that little hole back there in the driveway. Yeah. You know how the concrete settled over there?
Yeah.
The driver's tire was down in that hole, and so it had to get pretty high. And in fact, I think I had the rear tire was almost off the ground. I mean, it was like. There wasn't space, but it's kind of like the wheel lift you did where, you maybe not have felt it actually come off the ground, but you could have been a piece of paper in there. It was like that. So it does lift pretty high, and I wasn't all the way to the top. I would say it probably would.
I did see someone comment that they had, it was on the one that was took the jack off beforehand. Or jack off, but he went through the process of changing his tire before, like right after he purchased it. But someone said, make sure that if you are coming off the highway, that you do not have it too offset, so not too hilly, because the jack may not be able to lift it up high enough if the front's a different way or not.
I actually thought that was going to happen with us,
because he said that he just barely got the tire shoved on there because it was that much off the ground. So it's,
it does help with the spare. Even the full size is a little bit smaller.
Now, can you put a 2x4 or something underneath it? Like underneath the jack?
Yeah, you could if you had a 2x4.
Or 4x6 or something. Hey! Create the barriers with a 4x6, right?
You mean like a chalk?
Well, okay,
a block.
You know how we've said bed dividers? You can make your own at home.
Oh yeah.
With a 4x6.
Yeah. You can
make yourself a bed divider, and then you always have a 4x6 on hand.
There you go.
In case you need it. Just call the auto club. Stability is key.
Anyway, all right.
Okay.
Next.
So even if okay. That was still going with that. I keep seeing articles that Ford will not make the Escape after 25. True or false?
I don't know. Is it articles or AI generated videos? We don't know. We only know that produce in 25. That's all they're telling us at this point.
Question for later. Tim talking about the 23 Mustang Mach-E leasing for $399 last week piqued my interest. Here in Virginia, nothing that close. 700 is more like it. Is that pricing regional or a long McArthur deal?
No, that's a national deal, I think. I mean, I actually have some of those incentives here. I didn't talk about them tonight because I felt like I was going on and on about that.
Baby.
But if you lease, okay, so here's the deal on mach-e. The tax credit, which can be applied right away on like the Lightning, is $7,500, but on the mach-e is zero. But if on a lease, the leasing company, if it's a fleet, because that basically Ford Credit is the leasing company, they get to apply for the $7,500 tax credit. So what they're doing is they're giving that over to customers. And so like my lease, I had $7,500 rebate on my lease. That makes a huge difference in yours. And so this is Lightning. Where's mach-e? Yeah, it's silly right now. The another thing that I always look at when thinking about whether or not I want to lease is if you can get that lease percentage below. Do I not have both of them here? If you can get that, if that lease percentage rate is under 1%, that is also a good vehicle to lease. And right now on the Mach-E, it is under 1% for 36 months, I believe. I think I had to do 39 months. Mine was like 0.4% or something. So, man, I might need to put my glasses on for this. This is really small. Wow, there's even finance rates. There's 72 months. Okay, on 23 model year, there is a retail bonus cash of $2,000. And then there's also 0% for 72. I don't know if those are work together or not. Probably not. Oh, no, it does show total cash. Okay, that's if you have a Tesla. So it's saying 0% for 72 and $4,250 in rebates. But on a lease, I know on a 24, it's not showing the lease. Where's the lease stuff? And it's not showing the lease stuff in here. Well, what the heck? I don't know. It doesn't show the lease in here, but you do get $7,500 a rebate on a lease. And you get really good lease rates. So like for me, I know I don't drive a lot. So I did 7,500 miles on mine because I know mainly it's just going to be in town and then maybe driving to the airport once in a while. I'm not going to use this to travel, use the Expedition for that. So I went with 7,500 miles to make that even lower. And it's incredible. We have employees that are buying them, right? Or leasing them, right? Because they're just like, well, hold on a second. I'll do that. I don't know. I don't have the other than I know on the 24 model year it's $7,500 if you lease, but that's not available if you buy. I think if you buy it's like $2,000 or something. But anyway,
what are you guys going to spec for your Maverick orders for stock if you don't get 100 orders? XLT FX4s with option rim tires seem like a good option that should get through. We
talked about that. We're looking at XL Eco again, price point. We have people, especially local people that come in and, they want to get a new vehicle or they want to get maybe not a new, but maybe they're looking at a used and they're looking at it and going, okay, I want to get something under, in the mid 20s or whatever. And, oh, wait a minute, this EcoBoost XL, I can purchase that. I can get that for $25,000 and then, still can get in the upper 20s for fuel economy, which probably is better than the one they're currently driving. And then they can get a brand new one that's, under warranty and everything else. It's brand new to them. It's new vehicle. So we're looking at some XL EcoBoost. I'll probably go XLT hybrid with no other packages on it. Because, to be honest, like that luxury package and the Copilot, I think Copilot 360 with the Bliss should be standard, but it's not. And that's just a convenience. I mean, it's nice having it. You don't have to worry about it. It's safer, but it's not something that you have to have.
Yeah.
You go XLT and it has pretty good amount of equipment. That Lux package gives you the power driver seat, heated seats, heated mirrors, but nothing like you have to have. So the luxury package is a luxury, in my opinion. And so that's probably how we'll order those XLTs. And we'll probably do a variety. We'll probably maybe do a couple, maybe up to 5, and we'll do some other, probably do some XLT, FX4 all-wheel drives as well. But again, price pointing. We need an under $30,000 Maverick, and that limits us to an XLT hybrid. If we go hybrid, we could go Eco. If we go EcoBoost, it'd probably be all-wheel drive, because that's $2,200 though, and then $1,500 discount for the hybrid. So that's pushing it at 30. So if we did do that, we'd probably look at all-wheel drive, XLT, quit without any other packages. Maybe an FX4 here and there, but because we do have some farmers that actually use these.
Yeah.
But they'll do hybrid because that'll be the one they come into town with, and they can put things in the back and carry parts back.
Like them.
They can bring parts back. Oh yeah, we had all kinds of people at the auto show or at the farm show that drove around, and the wife was looking at the little Maverick truck and going, "Wait a minute, you send me to town all the time to get parts for you, or to get this or to get that. I could take this little Maverick. I like getting into that a lot better." And that's a lot easier to pull into parking spaces than the F-150 that you send me in.
And it has a truck bed that they can put feed and whatever else they need in it.
I can throw it. Yep. I can get stuff. Yes. I can get seed, all that kind of stuff, throw it in the back, have them put it in the back. And
the teenagers from FFA, they were looking at it. They were liking it.
Yep. It is. And then so on some of those, they don't necessarily need it for the hybrid. They're looking at it because it's a small truck. It's easier to maneuver and get around, and when they go to town, and they can haul stuff in the back. So they're okay with, and some of them will like, I need all-wheel drive. I need FX4. So we'll probably get a variety. So,
well, and I think I remember one of the kids saying, well, I'm used to farmland. I'm not too used to parking spots and having to watch my area. So a big truck can be something that's hard to do. So they like the smaller truck. It's easier for them to learn how to drive.
We had a bunch of those Tremors for a while that came available, and they didn't sell right away. I don't think people look at the F-150 or the Maverick as a off-road vehicle. So the Tremor, I don't think, and I could see the Tremor going away on the Maverick. I mean, what they need to do is bring the Tremor back to the Ranger, and they probably don't need it. FX4 is probably all they really need. I liked the Tremor. It was the way it geared out. If you want a fun driving vehicle, just like Brandon, he's not on here. Go 4K tow, go FX4, all-wheel drive, EcoBoost. That's a fun car to drive. So it'd be just as fun to drive as a Tremor.
I liked, because I've driven the Maverick and I've also driven an F-150. The lower bed height is amazing, because I don't have to hike it up.
Oh yeah.
Because when I'm standing next to an F-150, the tailgate's coming up to like my waist.
Oh yeah.
The F-150 is down by my hip. It's a lot easier to load things in.
We picture all the vehicles. Any vehicle goes on a website. Sarah and I and Jeff, we picture those. So we have to move those tailgates up and
Super
down.
Duty.
Yeah, Super Duty. I try to do the Super Duties and 150s if I can to help out, but
I'm sure.
You
can't tell here. We look pretty similar in height, but I'm 5'4".
Yep. So anyway, all right.
Alrighty.
Yeah, but that's why we really want people like, hey, if you think you're going to be wanting to get one this fall, let's just go ahead and order you one. We're not asking for deposit. And there's nothing that says. We had 70 become available this spring from people that turned theirs down. Those weren't fake orders put in. Those were people that really legitimately ordered them, and either they couldn't because things changed, or they couldn't wait any longer and they got something else. So, I mean, we're not gonna. You can tell we had 70 people that we didn't make them take their order. Most dealerships are requiring a deposit. Now, it's pretty hard on a Maverick to order something that we can't sell, but we probably recommend you don't get any bed covers and stuff like that. But we're not going to limit you and say, well, you don't want this, that kind of thing. we probably will eventually be able to sell it. But anyway, all right. What else we got?
Well, Law McArthur have allocations for Raptor Ranger.
To what? Well, Law McArthur what?
Have allocations for Raptor Ranger.
We didn't get any this month, so I'm not sure how much longer they're gonna be scheduling Rangers. I don't know, but there is the 2.7 liter engine that's available on the Ranger. We don't have a lot of. I think we did request. We had some vehicles that, because we have pretty good amount of inventory, we didn't take as many as Ford gave us on some of the models. But we did make sure that on every model we had at least a couple in case we have a retail order. So we should be able to fulfill anybody who wants a retail order on any of those vehicles that we don't have any right now. We should still be able to do one or two. So we did that on, I think it was like Escape. We were like, well, we got plenty right now, but this will be the next month will be the startup for 25. I'm like, well, we need a couple of those. So we made sure. And we had some of those coming in, but we've got things have changed on how Ford is doing it for dealers right now. So you're going to see dealers probably try to carry less inventory for the most part. We're looking at that. I mean, because what it used to be is if you had your vehicle, you had 3 months to sell your vehicle, and then they started charging you interest. Well, now they start charging you interest day one. So that first month you get charged interest. So you want to move your vehicles, like that. So because of that, you're going to probably see a lot of dealers start carrying less inventory. Once it may not happen for a little bit, but once they get the first couple of units in the first month where they're like, what the heck happened here? Well, what's this interest charge from Ford? That's ridiculous. But they get charged 1% of the invoice at the beginning now for anything that's dated in July for production. Once those start rolling in, right? Yeah. So no more floor plan assistance. Correct. So that's gonna change how dealers start managing their inventory. So because of that, like I think we received 59 F-150 allocations for this month. We took 20. We're like, nah, we don't need all those. We'll just take 20. And that's also why instead of doing 115 Mavericks, we did 100, because that is our other thing is we want to make sure we're going to be able to turn those. And we were able to handle ones when we had all those stacked up orders for people that retail ordered. But when we had those people that didn't take theirs and we had 70 Mavericks on our lot, how many did we sell that month? We still were able to turn them, but I think our number for the most part is about 40 to 45 a month. So that's about how many we want. Well, right now we have 0. So we need to get some months of inventory stacked up. So that's why we took 100, because we think that's about 2 months of inventory, which is about all we want to keep in stock. And for Maverick, that's about 90 vehicles a month. So we went with 100. So because some of those were retail orders, we have several that are people that ordered in January, February that are needing their Mavericks. So anyway, so that's Let's go into a little more detail than probably most people care to know about.
If you lease an electric car, does the person who leased get the tax credit from the feds?
Nope. You do not. I learned that the hard way. I thought I was getting $7,500 and I did not. My taxes. No, it goes to the leasing company. So that would go to Ford or Cab West in this case, I think. So it goes to them. And that's why Ford started doing on the mach-e leases, giving you $7,500 rebate, because they're going to get their money. Right.
Yes.
And they get to claim that right away now instead of on the taxes at the end of the year. So.
Okay. Is the 6.8 a gas motor?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a good gas motor. I mean, performance at gas motor is like some of the V10 back in the day. It's a very good motor. But not many of the people want it. They want that 7.3 if they're going to go with the gas motor.
All right. Long-time watcher, first-time texter. If I order and finance Maverick through you, do you have truck delivered to my house or my local Ford dealer? We prefer to deliver to your house or a grocery store or somewhere near a public space near you, preferably not a dealer. They usually have vehicles being shipped to them. So when a shipper gets there, and they have a vehicle and they're like, well, what's going on with this? It can get kind of confusing for the dealer, and they might also find offense that you did not work through them with them being your local dealer. So we just try and keep it happy and have it delivered to your house or to a public space near you.
Plus, another reason internally why we like that is that if you decide you don't want it when it comes in, because if it takes 3 months, 4 months, things change in your life, and you're like, I can't take delivery of this, or I can't do it, then it's not stuck. We don't have it in Texas, and I have to get it back here.
Because if we do, we can do a drop ship, which is where you find a local dealer that's willing to work with us, and we drop ship it to their dealership. They get it set up and everything, and you do paperwork with us. But like he said, if it's in Texas or California or Hawaii even, why ship it to ourselves? We have to mark it up. Then we aren't going to do that. So we just turn it over to them.
And then that dealer gets the turn and earn.
Yes.
So basically, anytime there's a dealer trade like that, where if you order from us, but you have a drop ship there, we're the selling dealer, and that counts as a sold Maverick, which helps us earn more allocations. If you end up not taking it and it's in that dealership, let's say in Texas, we don't want to pay. It's going to cost us, $800 to get it back here. Then there's all of our markup. So we're not going to do that. So what we do is we dealer trade it to them. And then when they sell it, they become the selling dealer. And then they just earned a Maverick allocation instead of us. So in a sense, we lost two, because we lost the opportunity to get an allocation as well as a sale. So we've double lost in a sense. So there is a dealership I know in Pennsylvania that what they do is, if you want to do a drop ship like that or a courtesy delivery, they make you pay whatever that's going to cost to have it shipped from you to them as a deposit. And if you take the vehicle, then that can go towards the purchase of the vehicle, or they'll give it back to you. But if you don't take it, then they have enough money to have it shipped back to them, and it doesn't cost them any extra. And I don't like doing that. We don't want to do all that. But there's some situations, like we've had dealers in Hawaii or customers in Hawaii. It's difficult. So we actually lost one in Hawaii because those people, and nothing bad about it. Things happen, right? You lose jobs, you need to move, or maybe you decide to get a house, and things happen in 3-4 months, right? You never know what can happen. And so we don't blame it on anybody. It's just, we have to foresee that and see how that looks. So anyway, so that's why we'd rather have it just come here and we'll ship it to you. We'd rather do it that way. And it's about the same cost in some situations, because a lot of times those dealers will charge you about $500 to courtesy deliver it to you, to set it up, everything else, because they didn't get paid for that, because Ford paid the dealer, us, for that. So they get, they have to, cover those costs. And if there's any dealer installed options, all right, that kind of stuff. And so you pay them. So instead you pay us. So
all right.
Anyway,
how long is the Ford warranty now?
3 years, 36,000 miles. And I think the powertrain is a 560. Guys can correct me if I'm wrong. It should be on the window sticker. It'll state that.
All right. I ordered a Maverick a year ago. Do you think it will be built before the 24 model year will end? I do not know. My dealership had allocation issues.
They better. I mean, if you haven't, see, here's the deal. They went to this month coming up is the turn and earn. They wanted to make sure every dealer had a carryover orders got taken care of. So either what happened is your dealer didn't put yours in correctly with the same order numbers last year or something, because Ford would have seen that and made sure you got an allocation. Your dealership got an allocation. I know early on in the year, they made sure that the bigger dealerships like us got theirs. That's why we had like a bunch of allocations and back in December, was to fulfill ours. But then we've had 0 allocations for 4 months. And that's because they're giving those allocations to those smaller dealers to fulfill their orders. So I'm really surprised you haven't gotten scheduled by now. But maybe with the new turn and earn, your dealer will get more allocations this month and you will get fulfilled. But you might want to make sure there's nothing on your order would stop it. Make sure there's no dealer installed options, that stuff. More than likely, I'd probably say you probably have an XL hybrid, my guess, which that might be the case. Instead of the allocation, is you might have an XL hybrid, and that's just taken. There's still 60% of the Maverick orders are XL hybrid. So of the 6,600, 60% are still XL hybrid. So, or XL in general. So,
all right. All right.
Anything else?
Yes. Is it true that Ford installed a fake rear subwoofer speaker in the 2023 Broncos?
I don't know about a fake one. A subpar one, maybe. Not very good one. Maybe.
To the point where it seems fake?
The audio system in the Broncos aren't very good. But to be honest, we usually don't listen to the radio in the Bronco. Not just because we can't hear it. It's that we usually talk to each other. We're on the trails. We're talking to each other. And so we don't listen to that. We might have the radio on, just kind of ambient noise or just some background thing. But we usually are talking to each other. And
Douglas Blair said, yes, it was just an empty box.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Did they forget to add it into a few of them?
Well, I do know that they were taking off weren't they taking off like the subwoofer on some of those? Remember they had some of the audios
So do you think
and some of the years where they probably they didn't include the subwoofer or something?
I think what happened was that there was a parts constraint on that because there were a lot of parts constraints going on.
So then it would have been just an empty box without that. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
All right. I think Ford wants you to keep your fingers on the steering wheel and pressing the voice command button and off the touchscreen. I don't know why I have that one start.
Now, some of the vehicles Sync 4, if it has the enhanced voice recognition system, allows you to use that wake up word like you do with your phone.
Yeah.
So you can say, okay, Ford pass or okay, Ford or whatever. So I recommend if people do that you use like Ford pass, because how often do you actually say Ford pass? But you might say, all right, Ford Bronco, and then it would listen, right? Or all right, Ford, you might say something about your vehicle, right? Or somebody's last name might be Ford, and it'd wake up. So I recommend you use like Ford pass. And I think there's like a couple options. You can choose that option, but that's kind of nice. But yeah, then you do have the button on the steering wheel too for it to listen if you don't have the enhanced voice recognition system on your Sync 4s, which like my Bronco's got Sync 4, but it doesn't have the enhanced voice recognition system. I think you have to have the higher Lux package back when I got mine, and mine just because the mid package. So
okay,
I got to do it the old way.
Have we talked about F-150 incentives?
They end yesterday. So incentives, the last month's incentives ended yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, the 8th. New incentives started today.
Which is why I had so much to price today.
Yes. But they got better, not worse, right? See, what were they? Did our prices get? Well, I know our prices. We have. You saw them. $14,000 off on the Power Boost. That's off of the high MSRP price, so it's really $12,000 off. So our F-150s are $12,000 off right now. We have 120 F-150s. Like I said, they gotta go. Although we don't have a lot coming in.
No.
Next 3 months, we may not even need a photographer. I'll find something for Jeff to do. Anyway, XLT. Like I said, $2,000 rebate. That's the same rebate as last month. Trade-in assistance was not there last month, so it went from it was $2,500. It went to $2,000, and then XLT's got $1,000 trade-in. So, and then some of them, yeah. So I think it actually went down to $2,000, but the rate is still there. The rate didn't go anywhere. Now that's just for the Kansas City region. I don't know about other ones, but there you go.
Oh, Douglas Blair says, this particular option deletes the subwoofer from models equipped with the standard sound system, which typically has 7 speakers, including the subwoofer, December 12th, 2022.
Okay. But so they put something on the order guide. I've covered it before in a long time ago in the past, where they added the option to remove that. But they put it on the order guide, so if they had a parts problem, which they thought they were going to have, then it'd be real easy for them to still produce vehicles and just add the option to remove that.
Yes.
But I don't know if they ever did, but I might be wrong. I can't remember. It's been a little while, right? I've talked about a lot of different things, so maybe they did do it for a period of time, back. Well, December would have been about that time probably back then, but
Yeah.
I don't know because I know like the Explorer, they did the rear climate controls. They took those off on some vehicles. They took off the what was it on the F-150 Lightning? They took off. Remember, I had that one F-150 video I did that talked about 7 things that were removed from your vehicle. So yeah, they were having some issues there for a little while.
Maverick doesn't have the LED climate control anymore. Or was that Escape?
On what?
The climate control. It used to be the LED screen that shows the temperature, and they switched it to a plain button.
Yeah, but that wasn't something they didn't tell you about. They just changed it. Temp on the dial. Yeah, doesn't have the temp on the dial now. It has it on the screen. They did that on Maverick too. But so they made a few tweaks there. But so yeah, on that, some of it was. So even now, you'll see it. And I don't cover that on the order guide anymore, but they actually do have on the Explorer and the Escape, they have some removal items on there. But I don't cover them because those are only there if they're having parts issues. So some people look at the order guide, and that's why I really don't like people that aren't dealers, like people just putting the order guide out there, is because if they don't know how that reads and understands, you got to read all the little notes that are under those, because those make a difference. Because people that know how to read the order guides very well, I've been doing it for 20 years. I know how they read and understand them. And you got to read all those notes because some of them will tell you this is only when there's parts issues initiated. So like there's some people that are like, yeah, I want the auto start stop removed. I'm like, you can't remove it. It's on the order guide. That's only if there's a parts issue with the auto start stop. We can't add that as an option. So we'd have people, because it would be on the website on Ford's Build and Price, it would even be on there. I'm like, well, that's not an option right now. We can't choose that option. So anyway.
Any info on a possible interior refresh on Super Duty for 25?
No. Nah, let's see, 23, 24, 25, so not till 26, probably. Typically, that's most of the vehicles we're on in a 3-year thing.
Ford marketing told me I now have a PCO. I gave the PCO info to my dealer, but he says he can't look it up until I have a VIN. Is there any way to see the value and expiration date?
Okay, well, that's wrong. So he just doesn't know how to look it up. So you can do a certificate inquiry for those private offers, and then they can show without a VIN number.
I've done it a few times, and once I figured it out all by myself, but otherwise I'm like, help.
You send me your information, and I can look up your private offer. Or if you call Ford Marketing, more than likely they gave you a certificate number. That's all you're going to need when you're ready to purchase your vehicle. But if you give me that, I can tell you what that amount is. Ford Marketing can tell you what the amount is. Expiration date. Yeah. The expiration date is, okay, the expiration date will be at the end of the quarter, but I'll always refresh each quarter. So they have to have an expiration date on the offer. That's Ford legal thing. But what they'll do is right now, that date is going to be at the end of the quarter, which, let's say we just started a new quarter. So you're 7, 8, 9, it'll be 9/30 will be the expiration date probably, or 10/1 or something like that. But then if you don't get yours by 10/1, it'll refresh and give you to the end of the year. So it'll stay through the end of the model year on those private cash offers, especially if it's it depends on what private cash offer. I should clarify that. If it's the transition private offer for having a order last year that didn't get scheduled, those will never expire. But all the others, any new cash offers that just started like today, which those would have started today, those will have an expiration at the end of this quarter. They usually run every quarter. So I forgot about that. Those ICIs. Used to use those all the time. So there are those. So I forgot about those.
All right.
But those can be looked up too. If they do a certificate inquiry, they can see your information. They can see all private offers that are available. PCO is a private cash offer.
All right. I was surprised to see the hybrid Lariat had a discount versus EcoBoost, maybe because of no all-wheel drive.
Okay, so if you go hybrid, when you go Lariat hybrid, or if you go Lariat, it comes standard all-wheel drive EcoBoost, which is an extra $2,200 on the others. But if you switch to hybrid, you'll see it $700 lower. It's because the hybrid's $1,500. You got to go front wheel drive. Yes. So it takes your all wheel drive off. So it looks like it's saving you money or discounting, and it's not really.
Yeah. Did you? I saw that post in Maverick Truck Club. Someone had gone, hey, what's the difference?
I commented on it for them so that they knew. That's why. But I think somebody else had too. A lot of times I like to put it in there because some people might answer them, but they may be, there may be some people that say one thing, some people another. And if they just get another person and have the people on there and know that I kind of know what's going on. So on that. So.
Well, and sometimes they'll have like most of the facts right, but then one thing wrong. So anyways, how does it work with the used clean vehicle credit? Do you not need to worry about having enough in tax if you assign the credit to the dealer?
Okay, so it's $4,000. The vehicle price has to be less than $25,000, from what I understand. And I can't remember the other requirements, but I know it's $4,000. So we actually have, I think, 2 used electric vehicles right now that qualify for that.
Yeah.
And ours are priced with that on our website. So you'll see the $4,000 under there because that is done off the top. Now, if for some reason you're in a tax bracket that does not qualify you, then you'll have to pay that back to the government at the end of the year. So because we have to submit to them your information. And so at the end of the year, if you end up making too much or whatever, and you don't fit that criteria, then you'll have to pay that back at the end of the year. So, or when you do your taxes. So that is, you want to make sure that you would qualify normally. And I think, I don't know on the used, but on new side, I know there's a certain amount of money you have to be under that. Right. So,
yeah. All right. So those are the end of our questions. If you have any questions, please drop them now with @SarahDavis. But we have a new member, Bill Graves. He's the one that's in Hutch. He's going to join us for Maverick Meetup. He's signed up.
Awesome.
And we have Vols44 that said, I just realized Sarah's text in the chat appears before she's done typing on the video screen. What's it called? Streaming lag / buffering?
Yeah, it's 10-second delay. So there's YouTube does that. So there's about like when we say something, we ask for you guys to comment. If you were to even type it that fast, we'd have to wait 10 seconds before it shows up for us to see. So we're like 10 seconds ahead of you guys.
So you'll still see me typing as my comment.
You'll type and be done, and then it didn't pop up yet. Where's it at? Where's it at? Yeah. So it's usually about 10 seconds behind.
So
that's a YouTube thing.
It is 9:50. Has the bright blue changed on the 24 F-150 from the 23 F-150?
The bright blue. So there's Atlas blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know other than that.
What other blues do we have? 23 to 24. Did the blues change at all?
There was Atlas blue. What was the other blue? There was no. I think 23 and 24 are the same.
Yeah.
Atlas blue, I think, in both years.
Yep.
There is a Velocity blue. So it got darker, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because Velocity blue is a lighter. Because Jolie liked the Velocity blue, but not the Atlas blue as much.
Yes. Velocity blue is a little bit brighter than Atlas. Atlas is deeper.
Yeah.
All right.
That it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, that was fun-filled couple hours. All right.
Hope you guys 9:50 without realizing it.
Yep. All right. Hopefully everybody had we were able to answer everybody's questions. That's the main reason we're here, is to answer your questions. If you had any, you can of course always email us, SarahDavis@lawmacarthur.com, or you can also email me. I'm tbartz@lawmacarthur.com, or just timothybartz@gmail. That's my personal email address. Either one. I like the timothybartz@gmail just because that's the one I check often. So you can always email us if you have any questions, or of course you can comment down in the comments after this video goes live, and we can answer. We'll get those as well, and I try to answer those at least once a day. I try to go through those and answer those. So, all right, nothing else. We will be back here live next week, the day before. 2 days before I go on vacation.
Yes, and then he'll be coming back from vacation to be on the live stream the next day.
And then we'll leave the day after that.
Yep.
For a trip that we can't talk about. All right. Okay. That's that.
All right. right.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you guys have a great evening. And for you members, we'll see you on Friday afternoon live. Can't wait for that. And till then, hope you guys have a great week. Stay positive. Be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourself.
We'll see you later.